All right. All right. So we are live. All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the show where we talk all things cannabis, cultivation, the legends who are pushing the game forward. As always, I'm Big Red, my co-host Jay Blizzy, and tonight's guest is Dave Tucker from DANK Genetics. What's up, Dave, man?
How you doing?
Good to
Appreciate
have
you
you,
guys
brother.
having me on.
Oh yeah, you're more than welcome here, man.
We appreciate you you coming on, man.
Appreciate it.
I had thrown up that you were coming on LinkedIn, and a couple of people had chimed in about your genetics, and were like, "Oh shit," they had a lot of good things to say, So it's good to see that on all the social medias and whatnot, that there's positive feedback as far as guys that I've personally never dealt with, but it was it's good to see that kind of stuff, man. It means you're doing something that's good. You know what I mean?
Absolutely appreciate that. That's good to hear.
Oh yeah. So, usually, basically, what we do is we just hang out, bullshit, have some laughs, talk about your company, you're up, how you came up and whatnot. Nothing crazy, but feel free.
Yeah.
Feel free at any time to if any questions are out of the like where you're comfortable answering, whether it's about specific technique or whatnot. Don't think that by you saying
No questions off the top.
that's on me. Yeah, you know what I mean. So, but
no worries. No, I'm an open book.
I was about to say David's an open book.
Sounds a lot like me. Fucking, I have no problem saying anything. So,
absolutely.
What's going on? What up, Brian, Eric, Chief, Bobby? What's going on out there, guys? So, so I like to start the interview every week with a couple of just like, I call them icebreakers, just some goofy questions to kind of, lighten the mood a little bit, and so.
Absolutely.
I always write out some questions ahead of time because I get fucking stammered if I try to think. I stutter bad, like in the middle of trying to think of questions. So I got to where I start doing them ahead of time. So they've been getting better. But so first question: if aliens landed in your backyard and demanded a cannabis peace offering, which strain of yours do you think would calm the alien invasion? Like if you threw it out, it would just be to chill them right the out.
Absolutely. I'm giving them control out the lead all day. That's gonna put them down for the count. That's gonna make them think about some things for a little bit and chill out. That's what I'm giving them. Control out the lead. Control out the lead all day.
A bunch of.
I've always liked that name when I first saw it. When we were first kind of hitting it off, and I saw that strain, control alt delete, and I was like, oh, that's a fucking perfect name.
Well, how'd you come up with that name?
That actually wasn't it wasn't the original name. So I can tell you the story behind this. So when I first got into the game in terms of like creating genetics and wanting to take it to the next level and compete in all the local shows that were popping up all over in Missouri back in like 2017, 2018. I created a strain. It was called Shift F6. Now, Shift F6 she was a killer, right? So it was Platinum Blue Breath crossed with Platinum Kush Breath. And it just, that OG Kush for days. It wasn't a killer yielder. It washed really well. We were getting like 80 to 120 grams, growing them in 1 gallons pretty consistently. Not a big stretcher. She wasn't a massive yielder, but just frost for days, right? Terpenes were off the charts. It was always everyone's favorite. Every time they smoked it, that was the one they were going for. So we entered into a competition. I believe we took 3rd place in that comp, 3rd or 2nd. And a buddy of mine reached out who is an OG in the game, had a local grow store, had a brand, Backcountry Farms. And he's like, Shift F6. He's like, I didn't know you've been running that for 6 generations. I'm like, no, I haven't, man. It's a new strain. He's like, oh, you got to change the name. I'm like, fuck, you're right. Shift F6, that's probably pretty misleading. But the reason why it was Shift F6 is the prior industry that I was in was insurance. And we were just a bunch of hustlers. So we were in a call center. And anytime we would get a sale, we would hit Shift F6 on the keyboard to run the card number. So in our mind, Shift F6 meant get money. So we had a softball team. We would call it Shift F6, and we'd scream out Shift F6 at the public, and if we were at a bar, because that means get money. So when we created this strain, we just named it Shift F6. Then it started getting a little notoriety, and I'm like, fuck, well, I don't want the strain name to be misleading. I don't want people to think I've been working this for 6 generations. So I said, let's keep it tech related. Let's keep it on the keyboard, so to speak, if you will. And that's when I was like, what, let's do Control Alt Delete.
Nice. Yeah, I was going to say, I was going to ask you, was it a true F6? That was going to be my next question right away. I was going to be like, man, that shit must have taken a while. Shit, I forgot this fucking TV.
No, sir.
How you hearing that? Well, honesty is always best, man. You know what I mean? Because you know how it is. One, son of a B, that starts his mouth running. You know what I mean? And it's
yeah, for sure,
a whole shit show, and it's not even worth it because with all these trolls in the cannabis industry, man, it's just to have to deal with that nonsense is such a fucking hassle. It's just.
Looking back on it, I would have felt the same way if an up and coming cat created a genetic and was hyping it up, and it was called F4. I'm like, what's that? But little did I know, I switched it up pretty quick though.
That's cool though. I listen. At least you did. You know what I mean? Because there's, I've gotten stuff where people, fucking F5, it's an IBL and everything like that, and you fucking grow 10 of them, and you're like, huh? You're like, something's not right here.
Not much stability here.
Yeah,
I completely understand.
Yeah, to me, the Control Alt Delete just means it's going to get you really fucked up.
Yeah, basically,
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Just shut down your system reboot.
Yeah, exactly.
System reboot. So the one of our newer strains we're getting ready to release is Control Alt Delete crossed with Party Gras. Had this real gorgeous pink purple male, and we're calling that Memory Melts. So
nice.
Kind of on the same tip,
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Those ones that when you bust them into bloom and you start seeing those fucking pink pistils and red pistol, and you're like, Yahtzee, you're like, I just rolled fucking 5 6s. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gonna be a color bomb.
Love that, bro. Love it. Such a
Very
good
true.
sign. So me and Blizzy have been talking about, incorporating some different things into the questions and whatnot. So me and him talked about this last week between ourselves. Bigfoot. What do you think there? You think Bigfoot's real? You just think it's a bunch of stoned people out in the fucking woods seeing shit?
I think Bigfoot was real. I think that, it's kind of proven through, fossil record that there was a large bipedal creature at some point in human history that lived. Do I think that he's still alive today? No, I don't. I think that it's that's long gone. But no, I think he lived at one point.
My take on it is there's been some of the shit that's been videos and stuff like that, man, and you've got scientists like real fucking primatologists and stuff like that looking at the videos and whatnot, and the muscle movement and everything like that. It's just, it can't be faked. You know what I mean? It's so fucking,
yeah.
And then, blah, blah, blah. But the thing that got me to thinking that something's up with it is the fucking federal government put it on the endangered species list. And why the fuck would they put it on the endangered species list if there wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, what would be the purpose of doing that? All it does is, promote speculation and and maniacs running around, you know what I mean? So once they did that, I was
Absolutely.
like, something's fucking strange about this, like.
I think he discovered weed and just kind of went off the grid.
It's the original gorilla grower.
Yeah, no shit.
Hey, imagine how much he probably has to smoke to get high. Someone that big.
Yeah, bro, fucking listen, if the weed's good, it shouldn't take much. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's true.
You know, if
It's not like Andre the Giant with how many beers did Andre the Giant drink? Like 100 and
to drink like
130?
180 a day or
Yeah,
some shit
something
like
crazy.
that. And then pouring down bottles of liquor and bottles of wine on top of it and stuff like he had a hollow fucking leg. Dude was
Yeah, no wonder he was shitting
insane.
in bathtubs.
Yeah, that guy was just a big giant monster. They said that when he used to wrestle, that everybody hate wrestling him because he would fucking fart on them and just do like nasty shit the whole time. No lie, bro. I've seen what do you call it? A couple of like Hogan was talking about it. I've seen who was it? Oh man, I forgot. I just watched it on Instagram the other day, but that was his thing. He used to fuck with the different wrestlers and he'd pin you into the corner. He had that move where he'd pin them back and he'd sit there and he was always laughing doing it. If you watch videos of him doing it, he's laughing because he used to sit there ripping ass on people as he was doing it. So he'd be like, har, 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 har,
The hell of a finisher right there.
Yeah.
That was a good impersonation.
It's not too hard. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like just make a deep fucking voice and grunt.
What's up, Gary? What's up, Robert?
That's funny.
Eric, Brian.
What up, yeah? All right, so let's take it back here now. So when did you start growing? Do you remember it? What was your setup? Was it a sun grow and stuff? Let's start at the beginning, man. So how'd you get into it?
I'm a second generation grower. My dad was always a grower. There was always plants growing in our house. My mom also. She started growing a little later in her years, but my dad and my uncle, they always grew. I can remember back the early days where my dad would grow. He'd guerrilla grow in DuPont, Illinois, right off of 270. In between the highways, he'd grow in the tree line. And he would just huck milk jugs of water and nutrients in there. We'd stop and he'd jump out and run in there like an asshole. I've got some funny memories of that. And then as the laws started to get a little bit more lenient and change, he started to take that growing, into the backyard a little bit more openly. So his first memories, man, it's as far as I can remember, I've always been around the plant. When I finally came back into Missouri from traveling for the companies that I was working for at the time, I saw an opportunity once our laws in Missouri started going towards medical, and then they created a caregiver program for folks to grow 18 flowering plants, 18 plants in veg, and 18 plants under 12 or 16 inches, if I recall. And I jumped all over that at that point because at that point we had already been growing a lot outdoors. Now that's when we then took it indoors, and it was kind of off to the races at that point because I'm the type of guy where I constantly try to evolve. I love to try new stuff. I don't like to stay stagnant in one certain way. So I was always trying to try out that new tech, the new lighting, the new nutrients. And, over the years, I've kind of stabilized in my ways, and I grow with Athena now, cocoa. I like to rock at the 1 and 2 gallon bags. And, as far as lighting, I do Grower's Choice lights, but I'm dying to try those new up and coming spectrums that Mammoth are working with right now.
Well, let me tell you, dude.
That's kind of one thing I'm looking at.
I'm going to be honest with you. I've done a lot of looking into whatnot, and if I was me personally, I'm switching to Black Dog LED. Black Dog's been the first. They're the longest going LED company. They've been doing the greens, blues, deeps, far reds in their lights for fucking 14 years, and only just making the spectrums tighter and tighter, better, more controlled, powerful lights. I'm going to be doing them with a hydroponic system soon and doing a whole series on them and whatnot. But with Mammoth and all them, all their stuff is fucking just clever AI written fucking research papers and stuff like that. They're just taking fucking taking it and
it is a lot of research
and baffling people. Yeah, they're just it's like a bamboozle. It's like they there's a couple companies that are acting like they just came out with this shit, but to me, they're just coming out with it. So I say I'd spend the extra money, and get. Well, those lights aren't cheap, so I'd say the money's probably comparative, but if in my eyes, I
900
would
pop.
fucking take a deep look at those, man. You know, they got each light comes with fucking 8 server fans built into it to fucking keep those LEDs cool as a motherfucker. So 5 years, the lights are still pushing out the same day one PPFD, etc. You know, and I use photobios. Like I love my photobios, dude. You know, I'm sponsored by them and whatnot, but I'm, you know, seeing what those extra, that those nuances of the different spectrum, instead of that same 40-to-1
Mint
spectrum that everybody's on,
the emerald green.
Yeah, it's natural, bro. You know what I mean? It's literally more like the sun than anything out there. Plus, you know, you don't need to have a fucking 6 foot, 4 or 5 foot fixture with them. You know, their biggest light's 18 by 18. And you can have it 8 feet above a fucking canopy and still do it, you know, an 8 by 8 section. You know what I mean? Yeah, bro, the fucking things are crazy, dude. For a 1500 watt light, 18 by 18, that just fucking cranks, you know?
That's insane.
They did a 5 by 5 and pulled fucking 10.7 pounds out with one of those lights in a fucking 5 by 5. Yeah, dude, the whole thing's on their YouTube. It's nuts.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still rocking Grower's Choice to this day. I've got a ton.
I love them. I had them. I've had those. Those were one of the lights that got stolen when my whole shit got fucking robbed when I was in the hospital. I had a bunch of the fucking RIs. Great lights, dude. Great lights. You know. But
still rocking everybody else. To this day.
Yeah, like everybody else though, it's like, you know, when they come out with new lights, it's like they just come out with a little bit more of a tuned 40-to-1 version. You know what I mean? That's what I understand with all these companies.
Yeah, the 720 to the 1000.
Yeah,
not much change there.
Yeah, the spectrum's the same as every fucking body has. You know what I mean? Everybody has the same. There's no real difference. You know, they can put all the pictures up they want with the spectrum, but if you take a spectrometer and put it up to it, it's the same as Mars Hydro, and you know what I mean? That's the thing that don't make sense to me. It's like all these companies keep coming out with new lights, but they're the same fucking light, just a little more efficient because they got, you know, the diodes changed. You know what I mean? So I'm a huge fan I'm a huge fan of going that way, dude, with those different spectrums. You know what I mean? Like, I see the difference, and it's like, man, if you can grow bud like we do now, you know what I mean, with the lights we're using, just come out with the sun in your fucking house. You know what I mean? It's like you got the sun now, you know. So, when did you realize you wanted to go from just growing to breeding, you know, your own lines? Was there like a light bulb moment, or was it just a transition because you were growing so much you figured, let me do my own shit like a lot of people do?
I just think, I don't think there really was a light bulb moment. I just think it was kind of a natural transition into that next level on, you know, you're growing, you're happy with your tech, you're happy with everything that you're getting in terms of quality wise. And then that next step is just kind of creating, you know, taking 2 plants that you've been running for 3 years and like, you know what, I'd like to see what this looks like if I can, you know, get these to cross. And that's kind of the next step. And it's just been off to the races at that point. It's an obsession now at this point.
Yeah,
it absolutely is an obsession. It's fun.
Listen, you know, anytime you create something, it doesn't matter if you take a couple pieces of wood and build a fucking, you know, a little toolbox or breed your own reefer. You know what I mean? Anytime you do something that you did yourself, bro, there's always that, you know, you feel more proud of it than anything. You know what I mean? It's like
I still feel proud mowing the lawn, looking back like, hey, that looks good.
Yeah, bro, no bullshit, man.
It's just human nature, I assume.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? It's like if you're not, there's something I you know, it's like, you know, that's when you got to ask yourself, is their passion still here at all? You know what I mean? Because if it comes down to that, you know, and it's like, and it becomes just about fucking money or whatever, it's like, you know, I think in my eyes, it's like, what are you really doing it for now? You know what I mean? Like, you know, if you lose that fire, you know, what was the first, your first successful cross you made, you know, that you were like truly proud
of? The first successful cross, we took a DJ Short Blueberry and crossed it into the Platinum Kush Breath. And off that line, we got Blue Meanies.
The Blue Meanies.
We got the Platinum Blue Breath. We got the Platinum Blue Balls. We got the Mouth Party. And we had some killers in that run, and then we just kind of branched off from there. Just recently did a mouth party cross with a male that we used, and then did some collab runs with that, and I'm loving what I'm seeing with those crosses as well.
Nice. I know a chick that
Yeah,
has
we
one
just did a
tattoo
diamond
that says
cabaret.
"Hello, my name is Mouth Party." Fucking good chick, you know.
She was a good girl.
Yeah, fucking.
I remember.
Hello, my name is.
I remember seeing all the like, especially the platinum blue balls. That was out of all your stuff, man. I think that was one that intrigued me the most. That and the that came from the blue
Very
meanies. Am I correct? It was the blue meanies that gave birth to.
So the platinum blue balls was Becky crossed with platinum blue breath.
That's what it was. I remember it was like a girl's name or something.
Becky was a headband. Becky was a one-off cross that we did, and it was headband, and I believe it was platinum Kush breath, and it was just this headband male that we had that just had killer structure. And that platinum blue balls, I think we did a collab on that a while ago. So that was with the cut that you had, that pure Michigan male. Oh no, it was a pure Michigan female.
Yeah, I did a few things with it. I found a really nice male from that platinum blue balls, and like you said, it had fantastic structure. We paired that with the cake pebbles, and can't remember the other one, but for sure the cake pebbles. That was that male was really stinky too, and you know, David. Finding a male, like, it's hard to kind of go off things as far as like you can't like humans. You see a guy, like, you can't just guess like what kind of like daughters that he's gonna make, right? So we kind of got to go off different things. But
some motherfuckers you can tell. Like, oh,
yeah, some
daughter's gonna look like they got fucking hit with a cheese grater, you know.
But she also, or he rather, sorry. Also had trichome production, good structure, had a smell on it, good trichome production. So I was like, oh yeah, this is the. I mean, not like a lot, but like even if you get a little bit of trichome production on some males, you know, it's probably going to be a good one.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, that actually takes me into my next question. Next year is how do you approach selecting parent plants? What traits are just non-negotiable for you guys like that? They have to be that. If they're not there, fucking next, you know what I mean?
Terpenes, terpenes. You know, it can be, you know, I've been running this cut from I pheno hunted this pack from in-house. It was 33rd degree, and it's just killer. Structure's killer. The frost is just out of this world, like a lot of their stuff. I just didn't find any, you know, crazy terps in it, so I didn't include it in the next project. But I kept it in the stable because anytime I wanted to run something that's just absolutely gorgeous, I kept her around. But terpenes for sure is the one thing that I'm looking for.
Yeah, I can't imagine not. You know what I mean? Like, because it's if both parents don't have that kind of, you know, that kind of thing going on, it's like, you know, then you're only taking from the one, you know, and it's the progeny just couldn't possibly be good. You know what I mean? It's like having, you know, man, yeah, I just couldn't imagine not having that. Like, it's just in my brain, like, it's, you know, it's literally like taken away the genetic possibilities. You know what I mean? Like, it just don't make sense.
True.
You know. So,
and I'm not saying it doesn't work, right? You know, I crossed that Oreos years ago and never really thought the Oreos had a crazy terp profile.
Yeah, Oreos are
gorgeous. The Oreos with cardboard.
Yeah, Oreos don't have that by itself isn't always the best. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. But you know, the other thing too is you never know, you know, what's dormant in it neither too. You know what I mean? So you can get a fucking Yahtzee just on, you know, something that's whatever you could maybe not dormant, or I guess that could be the word. You know what I mean? But you know, a dormant gene in there that, you know, all of a sudden it explodes and for some strange reason there's licorice fucking starts coming out of it or something. You know what I mean? So you never know. You know.
That's what I've always wanted to.
The what?
Go ahead. I was talking about the 2018 to, what was it, 2000? It was probably 2019 going into 2020. It was right before the pandemic. And I don't remember who the creator was, but it was Terpy Slurpy. And man, this thing, it was the first strain that I ever got rid of purposefully, but then regretted it because that next run that I did of it, man, that thing smelled like a roasted pork chop. It was crazy. It
That's
was
so
insane.
weird, dude.
Like it was such a unique terp profile, and I regretted throwing that one out. But Terpy Slurpy, that one's probably out there
Terpy
floating
Slurpy.
around somewhere.
The amount of times I've done that.
Yeah, I'm sure if I could throw something away, you're just
Dude,
like,
they
oh,
stick
man,
with
that was
me.
bad,
Like
That's weird,
I
man.
remember all the ones I've gotten rid of that I wish I wouldn't have. They're like, I can't forget them. They haunt me.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That you never forget them when fucking the conversation comes around. You're like, and there was this one, There's always that one that that's I think everybody has.
The Great White Buffalo.
Yeah, exactly. The Great White Buffalo. Exactly, Great White Buffalo.
Yeah.
So, do you prefer working primarily with regs, fems, autos, or do you even fuck with autos?
No, it's funny. It's funny you asked me that. No, I don't fuck with autos, but I'm about to pop 2 autos next week. 2 packs of autos actually, in that new Ethos Multi Pass that I think we got in a few weeks back. So there's some crescendos in there. I believe I think there's a Durban Poison in there that we're gonna fuck with. But just for I don't like to grow something that I can't save. Because just like we were talking about, you grow something and it's fire and you're loving it, and then you're like, oh, this is the last time I'll see that, and that's what kills me.
Yeah.
So that's why I stay away from them.
I'm not an auto fan.
Autos part the sea in terms of, you'll get one guy that says, autos are the easiest thing to grow. And then you'll speak to another cat that's like, well, with autos, you got to give them less nutrients and less light. You don't want to stress them out too much, which I agree with. But I think a lot of people fall into the trap of buying autos and relying on autos, and they're missing out on so much more when it comes to cannabis cultivation, because they're sticking to autos. But no hate on autos. It's not my.
I hate on them. I think fucking dudes who run autos talk. Fucking, you kidding me? I think they're all tuckers. I fucking hate autos, bro. Every time I fuck with them, I have, like I've said this almost every episode when we talk about autos, I have a calamity. I fucking took out my whole tent, crushed everything in the fucking thing. Just, I mean, anything you can imagine that happens. It happens, and it's just fucking. I'm like, it's something cursed about them, And I swear to God, if I get mad in the fucking house and they hear it, they die on me. Like, it's just one of those fucking things.
Well, that's the thing about autos is, like, we all know it kind of comes down to, like, the end quality of it is not always satisfying. But the reason for that is like you can try to get away from that ruderalis gene, but you need it to actually be an auto. So as long as that is still in there, they're always going to be kind of subpar to photos when it comes to quality. And that's just like, it's taboo to say that to some people. They get offended, but it is what it is. As long as you have that gene in there, you're going to fall short a little bit comparative to the photo cousin. So that's like
what it is. You get this argument about, the world's strongest auto, fucking 30-something%. If you would have checked that same bud, the fucking same bud would have had 18%, fucking 20%, you know what I mean? And it's like, when they start throwing these numbers around about it, it's like, no, it isn't. It's like, I don't give a fuck what you're saying, because I guarantee you 97% of that fucking plant would have tested nowhere near that. You know what I mean? It was just a fucking lucky test. And I bet if they tested that same bud, to be 10 different numbers on that same fucking thing. So those numbers don't mean dick to me.
That's a whole nother podcast, testing. And
yeah. But you know what I mean, though. You know what I mean? Because I mean, with photos, there's wave too. But I think with photos, you get more consistency than fucking testing with autos. 100%. I think you can test a bud on a photo and get different numbers, but you're going to get more consistently in a range than with fucking autos. You know, they're just not
I gotta give it to auto breeders though, man. It's a little more work.
Yeah.
It's more dedication. So I mean, hey, I'll take my hat off to someone breeding autos and actually like created a good, a successful business out of it, because that's a lot of fucking work.
The guys that are actually making autos, I give credit to, but the fucking ones that are out there just copying the autos from fucking people and taking credit and changing the names, they can fucking, they're bottom feeders.
I will say, if anyone ever wants to check out autos, personally, I don't, but in my experience and people that I know,
Manifesto.
Yeah, but Rock Buddy,
Boat's got fucking phenomenal autos. You know what I mean? Like that boat's got phenomenal fucking autos. But I just
you guys got to check out Rock Bud Inc. And he doesn't do a shitload of them. He sells out right away. But from what I've seen on his autos, look fucking super tits. I had a buddy that grown it here locally, and it was actually some pretty damn good stuff. So
yeah, but that's that's the anomaly though in that fucking whole that whole spectrum of the industry. You know what I mean? There's a couple of anomalous breeders that fucking just for whatever reason their consistency and their fire and stuff like that. But you can tell they're the ones that are doing the work. There's other ones that are just fucking like I said, they're spraying fucking plants, taking credit for fucking for stuff that they shouldn't be, and then there's ones that fucking literally. You get autos and you grow them, and there's fast flowers mixed in there still, and you know what I mean. And it's like, so they didn't even work the fucking thing fully, or they just wanted to put out crap, But that's the thing with autos; there's not that consistent where there's a lot of guys putting out that top tier kind of stuff like there are photos. You know what I mean? Like 100%.
I was about to spew some hate, but I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
On what?
On a certain auto breeder. One of the biggest auto breeders, we'll just say that.
Bro, I couldn't even tell you. I could probably tell you like fucking 6 auto breeders, if that. I don't even think I can get that.
I think. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep them. I'm not. You're braver than me on that shit. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, I can care less, bro. Fucking, you know what I mean? That's why I'm here. So I could say the shit that you can't because you're a breeder and you have to fucking toe that line. But me, I don't care. And I wanted to I'll say this disclaimer. Anything that I say, has nothing to do with anybody else on this show's fucking opinions or anything like that, unless they come after me and say it. But that's my thing, bro. I've been doing that for fucking years doing this. I don't care. I'll call out companies, breeders, don't matter, bro. Because if they're not doing the fucking work, somebody's got to say it, man, because there's way too many fucking riders that fucking fanboy on this shit. Like, look at Green Wolf, bro. Fucking guy was robbing people fucking blind, putting out straight trash, and fucking had people fucking riding his fucking ass for years until we finally started fucking speaking up about his garbage, and now he's out of fucking business. You know what I mean? Fucking he finally stressed out enough from fucking getting trolled that he's gone, but it's like that's the shit that somebody has to say it, man, or it's just, what the fuck's the purpose? You know what I mean? Like I don't want people getting taken by anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel terrible when I hear people, I fucking bought this guy's shit at Herms. I bought this guy's shit and fucking did that. I bought this guy's shit. It was femmes and it was all fucking males. Like, nah, man, I won't vet anybody fucking unless they're, I know they're doing it because it's just not right to do, bro. It really is.
It's one thing because we all know it doesn't matter how much you test. We are dealing with cannabis that wants to reproduce. Every breeder, every strain, literally every strain, no matter what strain you make, eventually you could pop 1,000, it could pop at 2,000 seeds, it could pop at 50 seeds. There's going to be herms. It's going to happen. But if you're producing something that already has herms, you've known has problems, or a strain that you crossed with before, has problems, and you continue to do that, then you're adding to it, and quite frankly, it's a money grab, and you don't really give a shit. That's kind of what it boils down to.
Yeah. Guys are putting out testers as fucking full done cultivars. You know what I mean? They're fucking they're packaging them up and not saying they're fucking testers to people. Like, that was another thing that the bastard was doing was that. You know what I mean? But it's like that's the kind of shit. Yeah. you got to look at the end of the day. You got to look yourself in the fucking mirror, bro. And if you can look at yourself in the mirror and be a scumbag, then you know what I mean. Like you just karma's going to come and get you. So they can do whatever the fuck they want. But as far as I'm concerned, if I know fucking when someone's putting out fugazi, I'm going to say it. I don't care.
Yeah,
that's what fugazi.
Sue me. Sue me.
So David,
they're gonna shut your Facebook down.
I already did. What are you kidding me?
Yeah, multiple times.
Yeah. Fuck.
Hey, so Tucker, what's coming down the pipeline? What have you been working on mostly? What's in the future? As far as like strains or even business endeavors, what strains are you working on right now?
So right now I'm doing a party cross. It's gonna be a reg line. Should have had the list right here. We did Sunset Trop with my homie over at Tree 14. We did that tropical banana smoothie. We crossed that tropical banana smoothie of yours. Absolutely. That one's going to be called Sazerac.
Hell yeah.
We did a Picasso Moon. That's a Love in Her Eyes genetic. That cross is going to be called Don Quixote, famous Picasso painting. Apples and bananas. That's going to be grananas. We have that strawberry cooler. That's an older bloom genetic. It's going to be Party Pop. And then we did that Forbidden Fruity Pebbles. I got this killer cut for my buddy Chris, and crossed that into actually my son. His favorite strain it was that Forbidden Fruity Pebbles, and he's like, Dad, I really want to create a strain. I'm like, all right, then let's do it. So I go Party Gras, getting ready to pop off. What do you want to throw in there? He's like, well, I want to throw that Forbidden Fruity Pebbles in there. Let's make that happen. I'm like, all right, I got you. And I'm like, what are you going to call it? He's like, we're calling it Diddy Party. I'm like, oh God.
Bukkake Party.
I should have let him. I should have thought about it before I gave him, artistic freedom. So that one's going to be Diddy Party.
I can't wait to see the art. Can't wait to see the strain art on that one.
Yeah,
it's going to be a big bunch of big buff dudes oiling each other.
Playing around with some ideas. But I mean, other
than some wild shit popping out of that.
I'll take care of that one for you if you want me to, bro. Fucking.
Hey, don't let Big Red have access to AI.
I'll come up with some.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Oh, that is so fucking funny, bro.
And then I'm doing a line that's going to be all angled towards cultivars that wash, and I'm going to cross the meringue. Which is a Schwale genetic, and I'm gonna cross that into all my favorite washers, the Control Alt Delete. I'm gonna hit that sour candy apple with it. I'm probably gonna do that tropical banana smoothie to try to see if I can get her up from she hits like 2.8% yield to rosin. I want to get her over 3, so I'll include her in that. I'll include this papaya that I've got, this grape cream cake that I've got, and probably a couple more that I haven't narrowed down yet.
Is that just papaya, or is that a papaya cross?
Just papaya.
Nice.
We'll talk after. I got some sales for you.
Okay, perfect. Absolutely. And then as far as, on the business tip, we've teamed up. We've got an awesome team here in Missouri, and we've been just busting our ass to get to the market, so to speak, right? So in Missouri, there's a comprehensive market. It's all the licenses that they gave out in 2018. I think it was like this is a guess, 150 plus licenses, right? Might even be more than that at this point. And that market consists of a manufacturing license, a cultivation license, and a dispensary license. And to get those licenses, you had to pay a $10,000 or a $20,000 non-refundable application fee. And if you didn't get the license, you were shit out of luck. You lost your application fee.
Yeah, I think it's $250,000.
A lot of people lost their ass.
That's
same in Cali.
And you had to prove that you had some pretty significant assets too. I mean, you had to show your ass to get those licenses. And a lot of people I know got licenses. A lot of people I know got fucked. And a lot of people saw that others got licenses and they had the same score as people who got licenses and they didn't. So there was a lot of shenanigans that went on with those licenses that were given out in 2018. So fast forward to 2020, 2021, the Missouri, we voted in a change. So we went from 18 plants to 24 flowering plants for all caregivers in Missouri. And they also included, I think it was 144 licenses to be created under a new market called the micro market. Now, the micro market is going to be completely different than the comprehensive market. Cultivation licenses, you can grow 250 plants. Okay. Seems awesome, which, a lot better than 24 plants, right? The cultivation license, if you check the box, you can include manufacturing within that cultivation license. It's called a wholesale license. Then there's the retail license. Now, there's no difference in the retail license when comparing it to a comprehensive retail license. It's just a dispensary license, right? The only difference is that within the micro market, you can only do business with other micro licensees. So you can't do business with the comprehensive licensees that are currently existing and operating in Missouri.
Yeah, I don't like that. I think they should be able
to.
The
kicker is that we have to abide by the same regulations as those comprehensive licenses. So we have to, the fees are slightly less, but we still have to go with security cameras. You can't have any blind spots. You have to have 2 angles. You have to hold your data for up to, I think it's 90 days or 120 days. So there's a lot of things that we have to, a lot of hoops we have to jump over to get, become legal, so to speak. And it was a lottery also, and it was non-refundable. So there are some benefits to this, right? Non-refundable $1,500 application fee. So we were able to team up with friends and family and put some applications in. And in round 1, we obtained a dispensary license. In round 2, we teamed up with a bunch of folks and just kind of created a really awesome team. And we ended up with some wholesale licenses as well. So it kind of gives us the opportunity to go seed to sale, essentially. In Missouri, we have something called immaculate conception. So within that first year, you can bring all the genetics in that you want, and after that, they kind of close the door on it. So as long as you can get it uploaded into Metric, you can bring those strains to market. So that's kind of my angle. My plans on bringing some killer genetics to Missouri.
Other states fucked up by blocking that in the beginning, enforcing in-state, in-state genetics and stuff, and then they inevitably, a lot like Oklahoma, backed it off, you know what I mean, and start allowing people to get it from other sources. And I think that was a huge mistake in a lot of these states because they pigeonholed themselves, because a lot of the states didn't have, breeders that were really up to par at the time. And so they were getting not the best genetics, I feel, you know what I mean? So I think that had a lot to do with some of the states' downfalls, I really do. 100%.
Oh, yeah, tons to do with it. Yeah, tons to do with it. I mean, it's expensive to run seeds in your facility. I mean, if you seed out your crop, you just made a bunch of new strains, but no one's going to want to, purchase your flower if it's seeded out. So those genetics have to come first. And I think that immaculate conception rule at least allows us to get through the doorway.
Oh yeah, because then you can then you can stock the fuck up and and pheno hunt for years. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Once it's in, it's in. So you grab up whatever the fuck you can, and hold it down. You know what I mean? That's your bread and butter right there. It's like a little fucking little like a little bank account almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
For real.
That's the name of the game, right? So
yeah.
We're building our dispensary right now in St. Peters, Missouri. It's right off of Highway 70, visible from the highway, signs visible from the highway. I could throw a stone and hit a comprehensive dispensary. So, we're looking forward to being in that market and kind of showing what we can do. And, my goal is to bring in a lot of these gray market, so to speak. They want to call it black market. These cats that are, that have been hustling and creating products and creating genetics and just creating things for years that never got the opportunity to get into the comprehensive market. I see a vision that we can now bring them through the micro market and create a dispensary in at least the greater St. Louis area where folks can go and actually get these types of small batch craft products. I got a friend in Colombia who basically pheno hunts for another one of my friends and finds these killer cuts that wash well. Well, I want to bring that genetic in through our doors so that folks can come in and, actually benefit from that local small batch stuff that everyone likes to say they are, but no one really puts it, it's all talk at the end of the day until someone
Sure.
actually does it. So that's kind of what our goal is.
I like that, dude. That's actually pretty fucking slick, man. I like that a lot, dude. Because not for nothing, there's how many times you've been fucking looking through whatever it might be, IG or whatever, and you come across the fucking dude, and you're like, like there's this dude on IG, Max Terps is his thing, and man, this guy fucking, he's one of those. Like you look at his stuff. I actually have some of his stuff. I actually just started fucking a couple of them, but his shit, you're like, man, I'd love to fucking smoke that, but without those guys, you know what I mean, you never find it. So to be able to fucking come across the dispensary that might or might have somebody, or even if you request them, be like, listen, dude, in the future, I think this shit's hot, you know what I mean, like fucking grab up some of this, and I'd love to see it in your dispo, like that have that option's fucking dope, bro, because there's so many times you come across shit and you're like, man, I would fucking love to smoke that, So
Definitely.
there isn't anybody doing it, really.
I think that's a big win for the industry.
Yeah,
like David, you were saying, I think that's a big win for the industry, especially now. And we talk Red. We talk about this every episode, the genocide in social media. So going back to what you were saying, I think that's a good hybrid between bringing things to like a local market and brick and mortar, so to speak, and like having things that people might not necessarily see all the time, and having that like available to the community, even as far as like someone that breeds or someone that's hunting other stuff, and having that all kind of collab into that little community, especially in little micro grows or dispensaries. Like I kind of like what your area has going on. It kind of magnifies a lot of people.
With the collab thing too, dude, the good thing is with stuff like that too is if you got a guy, whoever that's fucking, is one of those breeders, that's low key fucking putting out fire and whatnot, he has an IG following or a YouTube following or something like that, you fucking run his cultivars and your thing, and you're getting a promotion through their fucking their socials too, you know what I mean? Like, hey,
absolutely,
out in Missouri, like this fucking dude's running my stuff, so the whole smorgasbord of what it can fucking offer is fucking dope. You know what I mean? I like that methodology of thinking, man.
Definitely.
It's
definitely.
I haven't heard anybody
take it a little further. I think the goal is to, for example, let's say you've got a brand that's creating some pretty awesome rosin right now, and it's their goal to get to a market, get to see their products on a dispensary shelf one day. So, I would even be down to link up with that person and say, hey, let's bring that genetic in-house. Let's wash that genetic. Let's grow that genetic. And then I'll bring you in and hire you on to actually help produce that actual genetic and bring it to the table. So, it's a lot for someone to say, hey, so-and-so's brand is now on our shelf. But how about so-and-so's brand is on our shelf and they produced it alongside us? That's huge. That's something that I would have wanted 5, 6, 7 years ago, whenever
cool
I was growing
like
and winning awards with the genetics that I was creating in my basement. I wish that someone was like, hey, I got a cultivation license, why don't you come in, we'll grow out this strain of yours and then I'll put you on. So now that I'm in a position where I can actually do that for folks, it's game time now.
Yeah, I like that shit a lot, man. Because it's you're when you get into the position, where your company becomes successful and stuff like that. It's like that's your sweat, but it's those with that regular motherfucker. That's the one who fucking helped get you there, by purchasing your stuff and et cetera, and talking you up and and blah blah blah. Granted, you did all the work, but that's where the gold is, man. Because if you don't get that, you don't get nothing. You know what I mean? Like for real.
It's all about support, right? You don't get anywhere unless people are behind you supporting you.
Yep.
You're just another guy.
Yeah. Yep.
100%.
So, so let's see here. So, I always have to ask this one. So, how do you feel about the explosion of hype strains in the chase for like this, next, dessert cultivar that's going on so much? You know what I mean? Like, what do you think about all this hype shit?
Not for it too much. I really don't put too much thought into it, but I'll formulate a thought on it right now. So, hype strain, right? Does it smoke? Does it taste good? Does it make you feel good? If it does, whether it's a hype strain or not, I'm gonna like it, and I know that my peoples are gonna like it, right? Um, if it's something that's only popular because of the hype that's been generated around it, I kind of tip my cap to that person. It's like, hey, great job on marketing it. Great job on being successful and getting people's eyes on it and making people want it based off of how you marketed it. That's awesome. Good for you. But that shit's not going to survive unless it smokes good, unless it looks good, it smells good, and it'll just be a fad. So I guess I'm not too concerned with those type of things because if it really ain't fire, it ain't going to be around very long.
Yeah, there's not a lot. Yeah, there's so many that that you can talk about that just were here and gone. You know what I mean? Or even like you said, they just were marketed good. Like because there's we talked about one already. You know what I mean? Basically, that was just marketed good. I mean, granted, it had it had look to it and whatnot, but fucking the marketing was way more worth than the fucking actual cultivar. You know what I mean? So
true.
I think you hit it on the head there, Dave, when you said that it's not going to survive. So I kind of have a take. I have kind of been preaching this for years, and you have hype strains, and then you also have strains that people love to hate out of pack mentality. And I'm gonna say the most popular one that has the most love and the most hate, and it's Runt, right? And quite frankly, I'd say 80% of people that say Runt sucks is smoking some shit that they grew from Barney's farm.
Oh, they probably never even smoked it for real.
You've never had. I guarantee you've never had the real Runts. If you got some batch of Runts from Timbuktu in some glass jar, Runts is trash. You don't know what you're talking about. And if it's still around and it's still being bred with, that's for a reason. There's a reason wedding cake is still super popular. There's a reason gelato is still super popular. Either they breed well or they're good cultivars. And there's a lot of misinformation that comes with hype strains or strains that have been around for a while that people are like, this trash. Well, you probably didn't have the real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah. That's there's a lot of that.
And if you did and you hate it, that's your prerogative. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I hate.
But there's a reason why it's still around.
I hate autos, but they're still going to be here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Fucking things will be the bane of my existence for fucking the next 30 years. I'm actually going to try to fuck with them again soon because I'm going to be running a new hydro kit. Well, two different hydros, but I'm curious to see how they'll perform in a hydro, you know what I mean? Especially since I haven't grown hydros in like 20 years, so it's like a complete re-education. This shit looks alien to me now. I mean, when I did it was fucking bunch of crap we put together from fucking PC. This Pergaments was the name of the Home fucking Depot store. Buttons. It wasn't even Home Depot. It was called Pergament. Fucking, there was fucking a couple on Long Island. You never even heard the fucking place. You know what I mean?
The mom shop.
Yeah, they were good. They were fucking, bro. It was a badass fucking store, but it was like, fucking 80s, early 90s, and then gone. You know what I mean? Like it was one of those things, But that's the last time I fucking grew hydro. You know what I mean? Like it's fucking years. So I don't remember. And these new kits, man, it's like fucking science projects. You know what I mean? They got all sorts of crazy shit going on. So I'm just like, I'm gonna have to fucking learn this again. And I'm curious to see.
I'm soil all the way.
Listen, I love soil, bro. Everything I got is fucking in soil. But I was like, I want to try it because one, you can put out some fucking insane numbers with those fucking things indoors. You know what I mean? Like you could get
listen, I don't knock it. I don't knock it. I've got some friends that have got just recently got a cultivation license, and I'm considering, helping steer them into the direction of some hydropots because you can get yield, and when you can only grow 250 plants, unfortunately, to pay the bills to actually make that license profitable, you have to look at yield.
Yeah,
you have to
let me
look
tell
at
you,
yield.
Take a look at Alien Hydroponics, fucking, and and let me know what you think about them, because that's the one of the systems I'm going to be using, and I can get fucking those guys. If I put you on with them, they'll get taken care of, dude. Like for real, like, you know what I mean? And they got that shit is fucking, those systems are nice, bro. Nice, real nice.
I'll check them out.
Quality. Sure. Take a peek at them, because, and let me know that they're actually owned by Black Dog LED too. Fucking, and
nice. Okay.
Those guys are. Let me tell you, they know what the fuck they're doing with those hydro systems, bro. Like I've been watching so many fucking people just having success like crazy, commercial dudes and stuff. Like that's one of the reasons I got in with them. Like they got hit me up, when we were talking and whatnot, and I was less like, man, I'm like, that shit looks. Everybody who's running them is fucking raving about the quality they're putting out and whatnot, how simple they are, the fucking big fat fucking pipes on everything. It's like. It's nice, man. I'm stoked,
nice.
And I'm rarely, ask Jay how I am. Fucking, I rarely fucking talk like, like where I like companies, like where they're really good. I'll mention ones I like, but for me to actually like, talk about them and hype them, these guys know what the fuck they're doing, man. Like I'm real. These guys are some professional dudes.
He's the Dave Portnoy of fucking weed gear.
But
everyone knows the rules.
Yeah, that's good. Those guys.
One talk, everyone knows the rules.
Yeah, there we go.
That's it. So,
that's not a bad idea.
So,
I know, right?
Any breeders out there that you'd love to collaborate with? Any breeders that you like that you really want to mess around with and do like a collab out there? Or what do you think? You're not into collabs.
I would like to do a collab with in-house. I would probably say in-house genetics, just because it was some of the first genetics that I bought. A lot of the genetics I just used were my dad's, were my uncle's genetics.
That's cool.
Stuff that they had sitting around for years. I think one of the first genetics, actually the first genetic I ever bought was, I think, an Archangel crossed with purple tie. Those are the first seeds that I ever bought on the web. But yeah, I think in-house, well, that would be a cool collab. But I think that it does mean
he's a cool dude too.
More benefit to collaborate with folks that are local, because we're so close to breaking through and opening these dispensaries and getting these cultivations off the ground. I think that it's going to be. I can make more change if we collaborate within Missouri, since the product has to come from Missouri, so it is what it is, right? I think that collaboration with folks here in Missouri is going to be the key, or the next couple things that we do.
Yeah, there's a couple of guys that I've seen on LinkedIn. I've been doing a lot on LinkedIn. It's been really good to me. I've been on there. I haven't even been on there that long. But after everything got shut down, I was like, let me go check this out, So I started putting some more stuff on there, and it's been fucking really good to me. I've made a lot of good connections. But there's a couple of dudes that are in fucking Missouri, man, on there that, that they're really putting out some really cool stuff, bro. Like the Missouri's got something happening, man, with some good breeders.
Yeah,
bro.
so we just you guys know Dave, I'm pretty sure you know him. He's in your neck of the woods. We just finished up a collab with Elevated STL. Those testers are getting sent out here within the week.
Nice.
Eric's here. He's I nominated him up to Jeremy over there at STL. So we'll be getting those. It's going to be his. He crossed my purple pebbles to his murder ape, and I made a funny little. I like to do AI art for it's strange, just fucking around, but it's the it's got Pebbles from the Flintstone, the little girl. She's got a bloody axe, murder Pebbles.
Nice. What AI you use, dude?
That's gonna be pretty fun. So
what AI you fuck with, Jay?
What's that?
What AI you been fucking with?
I do a lot of I was using Bing until they got real constringent on cannabis. Out of nowhere,
they do any cannabis shit.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I haven't been able to find one I've been able to do it on.
Grok will do it.
Grok? Elon Musk's one.
Yeah, it does. It does okay. You'll probably have to go through 30, 40 images to really get a good one, but eventually you will. You can pick from them. But if you're doing just like for my Butterfingers line, I did a lot of like a 1950s pinup girl, kind of like sexy looking and stuff. Chat GPT does a really, really high quality image. You don't get a lot of uses, and it takes a while to make, but it's probably the more accurate one. And then there's I
But with
forget the
ChatGPT
name.
don't do reefer though, right? They won't do anything with weed in it.
No,
right?
no, but I kind of use 4 different things to incorporate. So I'll generate an image, and then I will use I'll use other like photo room to like remove backgrounds on images, and then cut and paste, and then I'll use Snapseed to kind of like edit it and put it. So usually it's like 4 or 5 different programs that I'm using to kind of bring one image together. But as far as like the quality of images, I say Chat GPT is still kind of having the more high quality, but Grok will do anything really.
That's the only one I used, and I have had really no issues with them doing cannabis related stuff on ChatGPT.
Yeah.
But one thing I have noticed is that if you take an image created through ChatGPT and then you put it on Facebook or Instagram, especially, it gets flagged right away.
Really?
So there has got to be some sort of.
It's tied into some sort of like algorithm and like digital ID. Yeah, I could see that.
So
but
I think
you
it's
also
whatever I guess it could be the cookies or whatever the data is on the back end. It's labeled. It has cannabis in there, right? So if you use that in the verbiage of how to create the image, it's on that file. So as soon as you upload it to social media, it flags it right away. So I think that I haven't tried this yet, but I think that if you get an image off of AI and then you screenshot that image and then use that image, that might get around it.
Yeah, probably.
And you can ways I got around getting cannabis done by AI is using instead of saying cannabis plant or leaf, I would say beautiful 1950s pinup girl surrounded by plants with serrated 7-finger leaves.
Yeah,
and it would go through like most of the time, but then even then kind of started getting a little bit like, no, it would see the image then. If at first it was just the prompt, like, no, we can't do that. And then like you could bypass it, but now it's looking at the image like, oh wait, that goes against our rules.
Huh.
So I mean, like it's kind of like a,
That's fucking interesting. I never even thought to do that, So
you should be called DHCA and maybe it'll make it.
Yeah, right. I bet you it fucking would too. You know what I mean? Like just because how stupid it. But so what do you think needs to change about the industry to make it healthier and more sustainable for breeders and small growers? What do you? Anything personal insights on that?
Well, I can only really speak on this market here in Missouri, and I think that what needs to change is we need to hire folks that regulate, that actually know about the plant, because there's too much inconsistencies with folks that are in positions of power that help the process of cannabis move along, and that's the one thing that we run into here in Missouri that just causes a lot of time and heartache, and time is money. So I think as far as what needs to change, I mean, obviously with our laws, they're written into the Constitution. So it's real hard to change something that's written into the Constitution. Because, once it's a law, it's there until the people stand up, and, that's a lot easier said than done. So as far as changing, what I would like to see is I'd like to see the micro markets be able to grow more than 250 plants. But that's not going to change anytime soon. So we got what we got. We got to make it worth.
What do you think about federal? You think they're going to do it, and you think it's going to be a disaster, or what? What do you think?
Class 3 is going to be worse.
Yeah, I hate to be pessimistic, man. I usually am a glass half full type of guy, but I think that if we get any type of change, it'll be the tax bill. I think we'll get the tax bill before we see any type of reconstitution or any change in federal law. that tax bill would be huge. I mean, we're looking at good 60 to 70% tax rate at the dispensary when we get this thing popped off and opened up, and that's huge. That's going to hurt. It's going to be it's doable, absolutely doable. But man, 60-70% tax rate, that's insane.
That's steep.
Yeah, bro. Could you imagine? It's I couldn't even imagine, dude. That fucking that much tax. It's like, I mean, shit. We get taxed on everything else. Fucking paycheck. You get taxed coming and going. You know what I mean? You get taxed when you make it. You get taxed at the store spending it. You know what I mean? It's like they already taxed the fucking shit. Like, come on already. You know what I mean? It's just like there's never fucking anything anyway.
I think we
all.
That'd be happy as a pig and shit if you just tax us at the alcohol rate. Like,
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
and I think we all know why. When it comes to federal, we all know the real answer of why it hasn't or it might not be, and that's it's always going to be big pharma. I mean, like there's a reason, like alcohol is legal. Yeah, that's because it's not fucking medicine. That's the whole picture here. That's what it boils down to, and there's nothing we can do about it. That's what it's going to be. That's what it is.
Yep.
That sucks. So,
very true.
Let's turn it to a little lighter side here. So, if you can only grow with 3 strains forever, what would they be?
Definitely, it would be my Control Alt Elite. What other 2 strains? Tropicana cookies. I love that. I love growing trop cookies. The THC.
It's such a beautiful fucking plant too, bro, to grow, man. It's just such.
I love some trop terps, man.
It's such a those peppery weird terps it throws, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's
my business partner fucking hates them, and
not only that, when you trop cookies is one of those ones that when you cross with it's bad to say like it's not consistent with terps, but what the fun thing about trop cookies is it throws off some wild ass terps, like this one's like an orange pill. This one's like cherries, like a gassy pepper, or
fucking thing's got so many personalities, bro. But it'll always look the same, pretty much, though. You know what I mean? Like there's it's the weirdest fucking thing. It makes no sense, bro. It's one of those plants. Every time I've grown it, I'm like, this fucking thing just. It's like, the smell is always different on it. It changes constantly. It's just such. It always looks the same. It always looks stunning. Like, I haven't seen many that fucking really weren't, where they were like, man, that's a nice fucking plant. So let's see here.
All right,
real quick, Dave, you still got
cookies.
What?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I gotta give you. You said 3.
Yeah, 3.
3 strains?
Yep.
Oh, man. Shit. I think so. I'm constantly switching it up. I'm constantly, running different cultivars. But I think right now, the one that's like on my radar the most is that banana cream cake crossed with jealousy. Fucking just the terps are out of this world, and they stick around for.
That's the gassiest. That's the gassiest, heaviest, greasiest. I think I'm right there with you, man. I can't let that one ever go.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I'm gonna throw
in a wild weird card, bro. They throw off some strange.
Yeah, the banana cream cake.
Very cool terps. You know what I mean? Like, it's
for
such
sure.
It is a bizarre terp profile, but it throws that banana bread at you. It throws fucking just straight bananas at you. It throws like fucking like the Runts banana fucking smell at you. You know what I mean? Like, it can throw like such a spectrum of bananas at you. It's crazy. Or like a rotten, fucked up banana. You know what I mean? Like, it's got so many bananas.
And then I got a designated hitter I'm going to use too as my alternate. Is that Slurdy Mac for sure. Stretches, yields, gassy as fuck.
Nice.
Hey, you entered that, didn't you?
Yeah, I think we took 3rd place at one of the Canna Cups here in Missouri with the Slurdy Mac.
Nice. Do you have any strains in your library you consider untouchable or too special to release widely? That like you only pass around to a couple buddies or something?
Yeah. So the Control Alt Elite, the Strawberry Cooler is one that was pheno hunted by a close friend of mine, and I've been growing that for 5 years now. And then probably that I got an 86 Northern Lights. So that a buddy of mine, he has a grow shop here in Missouri called the Happy Grower. And he bought some seeds in 1986. And he showed me the screenshot. He has the original packaging. He found them in his drawer. He called the company that he bought them from. And this is back in the day where they'd mail it to you in like a VHS tape or some shit. Sewed in,
a
in
fucking Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen fucking video.
Damn teddy bear in its eye or some shit.
Fucking he puzzle box.
And they were like, "Give us your name." He gave her his name, and I shit you not, they still had his information on when he placed that order.
Oh shit!
And
nice.
One of the packets of seeds, he did not recall what it was. He said you ordered Northern Lights and you ordered White Widow. So he popped those. He gave me 2 to pop. They did not propagate. They did not grow. But I got a clone off of his, and I've been growing it for a couple of years now, and it's killer. It's just that old school Northern Lights. Looks good, smells good, yields good. I got one outdoors right now that I'm super excited to see how she does.
Nice. Nothing fucking better than
about
coming
7 feet
some
at
of
the
that
moment.
stuff. Yeah, some of those come across some of that old stuff, man. There's nothing, not too much stuff that compares to it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let me see. I actually had a question about that in that fucking. So it's kind of an heirloom thing, classics and whatnot. So how do you balance creating something new and exciting versus preserving heirloom and classics? Like, do you? What's your take on that?
Honestly, I never really had like the mindset of to try to preserve a classic. Like then again, I've got that 86 Northern Lights and I haven't thrown it in a project yet. I kind of like it as it is.
Yeah.
And really haven't had any interest in, creating something new. So I guess I've never had to really kind of, choose one side or the other. Just naturally, and the way I do things is pretty much it's new versus new. I haven't really pulled anything old. I think a few grows back, we did a Blue Meanies line, and I did a skunk one. But that was a pheno hunted pack. It wasn't any like older genetics that we used. We just found a real good cultivar that, had as skunky as you could find with, still never really found that deep skunk terp, which a lot of people still continuously search for. But we found one that was frosty and had a good deep terp profile, and we used that for the cross.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
So I want to get into a little bit like your growing, what your focus is, what you're growing and whatnot, and this and that. So is there any specific inoculants, microbes that you use, brand wise that that you are really liking? Do you make your own stuff? Is there foliar sprays? Like what's your take on nutrients, soil, etc.? What sets your guys,
Absolutely.
what you're growing it apart?
Yeah, so I roll with cocoa. I did Pro Mix for a while. I just kind of got bored with Pro Mix, and then I switched over to cocoa. So, I do Athena Nutrients. I run their IPM regimen as well. The only time I use like additional microbes or any type of powders or liquids, I use when I do my cloning. And one thing I like to do is every time I do a batch of clones, I'll try a new microbe, because I'm trying to see, if I see that spark. Like if I see those clones root 3 days earlier, then I'm going to stick with that microbe. I'm going to continue using others. But I'm just trying to see if I see any type of, like I said, a spark in what I'm doing, any type of change. Is
there anything that you're seeing that's are you seeing anything like, as far as like we talk about, you're changing every time? Like what's really got your eye? What are you fucking with?
Yeah,
more
so
and
the
more?
most recent positive change that we saw, I was using, oh man, I hate to forget their name. You guys will know it though. Those cats that have got they've got that micro product, and they also have a real popular podcast. Do you know that microbe's a yellow bag? is a yellow bag or a blue bag. It's powdered. It's black.
I know what you're talking about. I just can't fucking remember the name, dude. I know who you're talking about,
Yeah. So
though.
I was, and they also make the dots that you can throw in your soil.
Growers something. Growers, real growers, maybe.
Recharge, Brian. Thanks, Brian.
Recharge,
Appreciate that, brother.
recharge.
Recharge. That's why I love the comments. So I was using them for a while, and then I just recently switched over. Before I was using Photosynthesis Plus.
How do you like that, bro?
Microbes.
I was just talking to them about fucking with some of that in the hydros. You know.
I loved it. I really liked it for my outdoor. I use it for my outdoor religiously because it's cheap as fuck. Like you can get a gallon of it for like 30 to 40 bucks. You can, $19. You can get for the same price. You're looking at like 60 to 80 for like some mammoth, or like that Orca shit that you see in stores.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I recently switched to Build a Soil's new powdered microbes mix. And it has that I saw that spark. I saw a change in rooting, significantly quicker, healthier root, fuller roots. And so now I'm going to start running that, and then I'm going to start looking for other stuff to throw in.
Nice. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, dude. Anything,
Absolutely.
Anything like that gives that little fucking shot in the ass. You know what I mean? Like 3 days. 3 days, at the end of the month, when if you do a couple of cloning runs, you know what I mean? At the end of the month, you're getting back fucking, you're almost getting an extra run of clones. You know what I mean? Like
very true.
Which is when in business, and or even just production, I mean that matters, bro. Because if you add it up at the end of the fucking year, it's a 30 a year. You know what I mean? Like you almost get back a chunk of time, bro. Like, So let's see here. Let me see where we're at here. All right. So I always ask this question. So if you had to describe Dungeon of Dank genetics in 3 words, what would they be?
Craft for sure would be the first word. I think the second word would be family, just because it's grown to be such a family here locally and also throughout the state of Missouri.
How many employees do you guys have altogether? Like like in your whole crew? I don't know what the positions would be, but
yeah. So we're a team of 3 at the moment, and then the dispensary we're gonna rock with 4 people, and then the wholesales, the cultivations, that's kind of yet to be determined. Because those are the team that the individuals that we teamed up to kind of pop those off. It was round 2, so we still have some time to actually put into those. But the dispensary is really the thing that's on the docket at the moment, and we're gonna pop that off with 4 folks. Nice. So we're excited to do a little sweat equity on that and actually just kind of grind it out and keep it local, keep it small, keep it craft.
Yeah, that's good. What's your favorite way to enjoy? Flower, joint, blunt, bong, vape, dab?
For sure. I love to make hash. I love to make extracts. I love to run the closed loop. But I'm not a big dabber. I don't do a lot of concentrates. I will enjoy a hash hole every once in a while. But flower for sure.
Nice. What's the legacy you hope Dungeon of Dank leaves behind 20 years from now?
I mean, I hope the legacy we leave behind is just that we were one of the brands that started in the basement, that continue to showcase and help others that start in their basement or are currently growing in their basement to this day. I mean, even if we get to a level where our name or names that we come up with are on a sign or a billboard or whatever, right? I think that as long as we're working with people who still don't take advantage of the plant and actually have good intentions, I think that it's all success from there. It's only up from there. Yeah. So I think that that's the type of legacy that we want to leave.
Nice. So you guys, built a strong reputation for your knee crosses. How do you decide which strains are worth bringing to market versus, keeping exclusive? You know what I mean? Like, what's your give and take there? To like really, do you just want to throw out everybody like your best shit, or is there some stuff you want to hold back and kind of like just fucking slide it in here and there where it doesn't get played out? You know what I mean?
No, we're throwing our best shit out as soon as we possibly can. The best thing we can throw out, we're throwing out. To answer that question, how do we determine it? Kind of like what we were talking about before with with hype strains. We're only throwing out the gear that people are like, I fucking love this. This is it. This is my favorite. You got let's just say you got 15, 20 friends, right? And the general consensus of those 15 or 20 friends, they're like, man, these three are our top three. And everyone says the same thing. Well, you taking those three to public ASAP. You want everyone to try those. So if there's a general consensus among your people and your friends, among your family, that this one strain or this one strain is better than the other, that's really all the proof that you need. And unfortunately, some of these markets, they don't look at it that way. They look at THC percentage.
Yeah.
And that's gonna alter some things financially. You may at the cultivation level, you may not get as much for that pound or for that product as you would something that's hitting 34% or 32% or 24%, right? But if it's quality, it'll be around. It's not going to go anywhere.
Nice. So with the rise of like tissue culture and lab preservation, have you considered switching over to that kind of stuff, or do you already do it? Like, how do you store your genetics and clean your genetics?
Yeah, for sure. No, we've been messing with tissue culture for a while now. We weren't like a front runner on it or anything like that. But we just kind of jumped on the bandwagon once we heard that you can clean genetics and save genetics in a more stable environment. We were like, we got to do this, right? So we work with some friends here locally on keeping genetics. We plan on putting our genetics in a library offsite so that we can have access to them at any time. And also, we're considering bringing in a tissue culture lab and actually building it out within one of the licenses that we're working with, so that we can have access to them on site.
You see Umami's tissue culture clones, the fucking seed packs that they're doing. It's the seed pack. It's got a fucking tissue culture clone in it. It can be shipped anywhere in the fucking world. And it comes in the fucking what's it called,
like
the Aper or whatever it's called, the liquid, whatever, I forgot what they call it. It's got like weird name to it.
The agar.
Agar, yeah, comes in the fucking agar. All you got to do is fucking literally, start the rooting, and that's gonna change the fucking game with that one, bro. That was some genius shit right there. I was like, man, I saw that today. I was like, wow. I'm like, that is some cool stuff, man. Because not for nothing, I hope they open it up to anybody. You know what I mean? Like, I hope it's not just like to license facilities and stuff, because that would literally change the fucking game. Because guys, not everybody, like me, I'm looking to start doing tissue culture too, because I don't have room for fucking mothers. Very, very limited. So a lot of times I don't get, unless I clone a few, I don't get a chance to rerun a lot of shit because of it, because I can't keep stuff that I really, really like.
Absolutely.
So I've been looking into it more and more, man, just to hold on to stuff, like, because I've had a couple, bro, that I'm just so fucking disappointed I've lost, and other people I've sent it to are just like, man, I can't believe you fucking, like, I didn't keep it neither, and it's just one of those things. It sucks, but it hurts, so.
I'll tell you right now, I'm going to put you on. So we work pretty closely with Lone Wolf Tissue Culture here out in Missouri. And you can check their website out. They've got full access to tissue culture strains. You can jump on there right now and get some strains shipped directly to you in tissue culture in agar. So, you can take them right off of agar, rinse them under some water, transplant them right in your media, and you're good to go. You're rocking. And they're guaranteed clean. They run all the tests, and they will also hold your genetics as well.
No shit.
Bro, you gotta send me the fucking link to that, please. That definitely.
Yeah, I'm checking that out ASAP too.
I'll send you the CEO's number. He'll hook it up.
Nice, dude. That would be a fucking dream, especially since I'm gonna be doing hydros and stuff, bro. Fucking slap those things right in and let them rock. You know what I mean? And they'll probably tissue culture fucking pieces right in hydros will probably explode. You know what I mean? Like, that would be
for sure.
Shit. That would be some fun shit to watch. I never seen that, like in person, so that would be just a treat. You know what I mean? Just taking that little, sticking it in there and watching it just. Oh, that's a
Yep.
fucking hell yeah, bro. I'm down with that.
That is cool.
So, what's the most unusual or unexpected feedback you've ever gotten about one of your strains? Anybody ever like come up with some like stuff where you're like, what?
Well, I think anytime a breeder or anytime you create something and someone tells you that it's their favorite of all time, or like it's their absolute hands down go to, you're always kind of thrown. When I first heard that, it kind of set me back a little bit, because I never really thought I'd be in a position where something that I made affected somebody to that level. So that's probably the biggest shock, is just knowing that you created a strain that someone just absolutely loves, and that they're taking the stance of they're never going to get rid of it, they're going to be growing it forever. I never thought that I'd create something that actually touched somebody, you know what I mean? So that was pretty awesome, and I'm sure Jake can actually comment on that too.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of a surreal feeling when you, especially within like your following and people that have supported you from day one, and they're just as happy for your stuff as they were the first time, and they talk about their favorite thing, and they can't stress it enough. Yeah, it is kind of like a surreal, take you back moment. I'd have to definitely agree on that.
Sure. Yeah, it's like anything else. Like I said, you know what I mean? It's like, it's a good feeling for anybody to tell you fucking something like that, bro. It's any kind of good feedback's always going to fucking tickle you. You know what I mean? So,
True that.
So, do you see Dungeon of Dank expanding into other products? Concentrate, pre-rolls, branded gear, or anything like that? Are you staying focused on the genetics and the and the flower for the dispose and whatnot?
No. So it's all going to be flower extracts. So we also have a company, DOD Extracts. We've placed in a handful of different competitions throughout the state with our washers. I think we did the Slurdy Mac on one of those and created some fire.
You did an extract on 30 Mac.
And then Fried Strawberries was one that we won some competitions with, and that's a bloom genetic.
Oh, that sounds fucking
so
weird,
definitely flower products, pre-rolls. Our gummies are a hit. People absolutely love our gummies. It's a high dose. We do 50 milligram squares. We typically run like 4 to 8 different flavors consistently. So yeah, I mean the whole spectrum, right? I don't really necessarily see us doing anything. I mean, we even had a lotion that took first place. It was a topical, 1,000 milligrams THC, 1,000 CBD, 1,000 CBN, and CBG, CBN, and it was killer. I mean, it actually, people came up to me and were like, "This actually works." I think it was a while ago, but it was a tangy terp. So it was like an orange scent, and it was really nice. Unfortunately, the markets don't necessarily have such a welcoming vision towards topicals. A lot of people love to make them, but if they're going to cost you money to make, but the public doesn't come out to buy it, it's probably not something that you want to lead with. But we have that as an option because we know how to make that type of stuff.
Nice. Yeah, topicals work, man. They definitely work. 100%. I have my knees are fucking I've destroyed everything, but my knees are always fucked up, and I actually get topical from somebody. I don't make it. I don't got time for that shit, but it works, bro. Yeah, it takes the fucking bite out that those fucking painful knees. I'll tell you that much. So
true that.
So what's one lesson that you learned the hard way in breeding that you wish someone had told you sooner about? Like a pitfall, let's say.
So probably the one thing that I learned the hard way was not having adequate ventilation when I had a male in house, and I had other plants that were not supposed to be pollinated. So I mean, I made a couple accidental strains that way. But I think that in the early
it's amazing
days,
how much that shit fucking travels, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah,
that stuff
very, very
literally
true.
That stuff is just the devil, bro. It's literally you unleash the Kraken. Fucking if that's the one thing about pollen, bro. If it's not contained, bro, man, it will you fucking 3-4 fucking rooms down the basement. You know what I mean? It don't matter. This shit just goes everywhere. It's a
Yeah, it's one thing. It's
Very
one thing.
true.
It's one thing to talk about it, and then when you see it happen, you're like, "Holy shit!" Yeah, that is true.
Yep.
The so let's see here.
Oh, there
So,
he is.
in your opinion, what makes Missouri's cannabis community different from other places that you've seen?
Well, I think that the Missouri cannabis community we're a pretty. I mean, the best word to use it is we're a hybrid, right? So we're not as open and crazy as Oklahoma and Michigan. But then on the flip side of the coin, we're not as regulated as other states. So we're kind of right there in between. I think that because they only allotted for a certain amount of licenses, it allows folks to get in and not have to worry about 500 dispensaries opening up in one zip code and then destroying the price of that product. Now, it's phenomenal for the consumer because they've got options, right? But it doesn't make for a successful business when you have to compete with 15 other stores on the same block like Oklahoma was.
Yeah,
So
bro,
I think that we're in
Yeah,
a good
that was
position.
wild.
Bro, they're still clawing those fucking licenses back, man. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
They literally gave anybody a fucking license. That was like I don't know what the hell they were thinking. Like, you know what I mean? Like that shit just was. I didn't believe it at first. Like I thought it was somebody was like making a joke. Like, you know, that it was really like that. And then, you know, I started just looking into it, and I was like, man,
Yeah, literally.
everybody got a fucking license if they want. If they had a couple bucks, you got a license. You know what I mean?
Yeah, their market turned over like overnight. It
Bro,
was
you can get lights and fucking, I mean, anything for dirt cheap, bro, on
I've
fucking
made multiple
Marketplace
trips to
and
Oklahoma.
Craigslist. Oh my god, the stuff you see on there, Canatrolls for fucking $200-$300. I mean, HLG Scorpion lights for fucking $70. It's insane. You know, it's I got one of my big dehumidifier off there, bro. Fucking things like an $1,800 dehumidifier.
I bought a truckload of dehumidifiers from there.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking great. I got it shipped to me from.
I think we got like 8 Quests, 8 150s, right? So I think they were like $3,200 to $3,800 retail, and we got them for $500 a pop.
Yeah, bro, I got an Andon fucking
this was years ago.
70. So. Yeah, I got an Andon 70.
Yeah, the 70
for $100.
The 70 is actually still pretty sought after. That one still goes for like $750 to $1,000. Like it's a $1,200 retail unit.
Yeah,
the 70s actually it crushes. That's a good unit.
It's a good fucking unit, dude. You know, but the
yeah.
Let's see. This, let me tell you, man. It's a shame though that fucking, you know, that you know, I always feel bad like when I buy the gear, you know, but in the reality of it, at least the fucking guy got some money back on it. But it sucks to have to see people fucking take those hits, man. It's just fucking, if it was done right, you know, people wouldn't have lost their ass, but they literally, it was destined for failure. You know what I mean? Like that's the fucked up part, bro, is that people were too silly to see it too. You know what I mean? Because it's a pipe fucking dream for a lot of people, bro. Because those licenses were so cheap, you know, you didn't even have to have fucking capital almost. You know what I mean? Like it was a fucking license, you know. And I know a couple people who lost their shirts, you know. So, but so how do you approach naming your strains? Is there a process behind picking them out? You know,
man, that's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite things about genetics is creating new strains. I don't know. I just brainstorm on it. You know, I'll sit down, I'll designate it, you know, an hour a day or an hour a week, and just lay them out in front of me and start thinking about different ideas. You know, I've had, you know, I hate to admit this, but I've had some genetics that I haven't even released yet because I haven't came up with a name for it. You know,
wow.
And it's just like, if I can't figure out a name for it, then it's just going to sit right here until I figure it out. And then once I figure it out, it'll be ready to be released. But yeah, I've got a handful of those actually.
You know what I do, bro? Fucking whenever people ask me, like, you know, about naming strains and stuff like that, you know, or I see little things online, you know, where somebody's like, name this strain. I always throw the different, like, let's say gelato, or whatever. I throw it into an acronym or a synonym thing, and fucking look at all the different acronyms, synonyms of the fucking words and whatnot, and throw in, the different parentages and whatnot, and, maybe something that's a part of the genealogy of it, blah, blah, blah. And just look and start fucking, putting it together and whatnot. That's how I always do it, because people don't realize there's a lot of power into those fucking, by changing things over into, different things like that. You don't even think about what it correlates to in reality of a name that's just fucking nobody comes up with. You know what I mean? So that's how I've done it for it. And and I think that's a great way to come and look at with naming strains, because you're gonna get so many cool fucking kickbacks from from it. You know what I mean? Like stuff that you just be like, oh man, I didn't even know that meant fucking, you know what I mean? I didn't even know that meant this, so that's what I like about it, so if you could send one piece of advice to your younger self just starting out in cannabis, what would it be?
One piece of advice to my younger self. What would it be? I think that the some advice that I would give my younger self, it would be to just go for it. I think that there were times where you want to do something, you have an idea, and you put it off, you procrastinate on it. Maybe there's a little self-doubt there. And I think that until I got to a point where I was just like, fuck it, let's make this happen, that's when I really started seeing the most progression. So I think that the advice of the younger self would be like, do it now. Now is the time to make it happen.
Nice. So when you're not breeding or growing, what's your favorite way to unwind and recharge?
I'm a workaholic, so that's actually a hard question to answer. I am, man. I do this from sun up to sundown. If I'm not watering plants, I'm popping seeds. If I'm not popping seeds, I'm training the plants in the backyard. If I'm not going to a cannabis, events or, a meeting, in Columbia or in Jeff City. But I love to go to Cardinals games. I love the St. Louis Cardinals. I love to see those guys play. We went to the game just the other night and saw them absolutely beat the shit out of the Washington Nationals. So that was fun.
I was going to say, it wasn't the Mets, was it? It wasn't the fucking Mets, was it? I hear beating the shit out of them. I'm like, oh, it's got to be the fucking Mets. They're terrible, bro.
But yeah, Cardinals games, man. I love. I'll admit it. It is what it is. Some people don't like to admit. I love to gamble. I'm a craps player. I like to play a little roulette. Craps is my favorite game. I'm better at roulette than I am at craps, I would say, or more lucky, I would say. I love it. I love to hit up the casino every once in a while. That's fun for me. I like blackjack too.
I'm a fucking big fan.
Last time I was in Kansas City, I hit up the Ameristar out there and sat down with 500, turned it into 900, and left, and had a blast.
Nice. Yeah, there's nothing better fucking, you know what I mean?
It's all about roulette, man. Roulette's fun as fuck.
Oh, roulette is just one of those fucking things, man. You just gotta just be lucky as fuck. That's it. There's no skill back in.
If you're spreading numbers,
you don't have to be lucky.
You can hit. If you're spreading numbers, you can hit.
All right, let's talk gambling, okay? Roulette.
Yeah, let's
talk
gambling here.
I keep all my, anytime I gamble, I keep a spreadsheet on it. Okay. So in the last 28 times that I've played, I've won 19 times. And now in roulette, you're winning 36 times your money, right? So I am absolutely up. So I'll tell you what I do. So I look at the roulette board, the roulette wheel, and I said, well, I want real estate up here. I want real estate here, and I want real estate here. So I want to have a chance to win no matter where the ball is on the table. If I put all my numbers here, look at all this space I can lose, right? So I put real estate. I got 3 numbers here, 3 numbers here, and 4 numbers here. And my numbers are 00, 10, 15, 16, 21, 22, 25, 27, 33, and 34. That's my favorite number. So
36, baby.
you've got a 27% chance of winning every time you place a bet. So, you go put $10 on each all 10 numbers, you're going to win 360. You put 20, you're going to win 700. You put 50, you're going to win 1800. You throw $100 out there, you're willing to risk 1,000, you're going to win 3,600. Numbers don't lie, baby.
Yeah.
You let me know. I'll send you those numbers. You can try it.
Yeah, listen, I'm always down to fucking try any of that kind of crap, bro. So I swear to God, when I played blackjack, I swear to God, I start seeing patterns. Fucking people think I'm out of my fucking mind, but I start picking up on fucking patterns with especially when I start seeing like threes coming out a lot or twos. I've noticed that fucking there's more wins in there and whatnot, and fucking that's like I'll double down or triple down, you know what I mean, or split fucking different things, like I'll up the bet but I started noticing like there was definite patterns in the blackjack, especially if the dealer was showing like fucking like specific cards. It was always fucking just pull back and don't just leave the bet and fucking I know.
Well, I mean, we know counting
but,
cards is the thing, right? I'm unfortunately horrible at counting and just
see. I think I have a yeah. I think that's more or less. I think I fucking pick up. I don't know what I'm doing. Like in reality of it, like I'm not really counting cards, but I pick up the pattern. I couldn't tell you, anything about like the fucking 11th card, this and that, but I just start noticing it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Fucking, but I've always had fucking good process. You know what I mean? Like my SAT scores back in the day were fucking through the roof, and whatnot. But I just, it's one of those things with numbers, bro. It's just you start fucking. There's always a pattern to it, man. You know what I mean? It's just you got to notice it. It's just one of those things. So roulette's got to be similar. You just see that. You just see it. I don't see it. You know what I mean? So everybody's fucking brain works a different way with that kind of shit. But but with it. But I just roulette, man.
Absolutely.
I swear to God, even if you told me the fucking numbers, they'd backfire on me.
I literally take my phone up there. I look at the numbers and I'm like, all right, let me play this one. I don't even have them memorized.
I'm surprised the fucking tip will after you right off the grip.
So you can. My ex-wife was a dealer at Ameristar, and also she ran the casino as a pit boss and then an HR exec for a while. So I kind of know the rules on that. You can't put your phone on the table, but you can have it with you. So you can pull your numbers off of it and then put your phone away, and then you can engage. So you can actually use that as a little bit of a crutch.
Oh, all right.
Someone asked Chiefs fan. I'm a huge Chiefs fan. My girlfriend's an even bigger Chiefs fan. But yeah, man, those I'm still going to send them to you just in case you ever try them. It's been working for me. I'll tell you a story. So a couple weeks ago, I went into the casino. I played my favorite game, which is Bubble Craps. I put 200 in. I said, I'm only going to play $200 and then I'm leaving. If I win, great. If I lose, I'm leaving. Right. I put in $200. I lost it in 3 fucking rolls. I'm like, all right, I'm leaving. I take my card, I stand up, I go to walk out the door, I look over, I see roulette, the video roulette, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I took $100 out, I threw $100 in the machine. I said, I'm either going to hit it big or I'm just going to walk out a loser down $300. I put 50 on 34 and 50 on 25. 34 hit. I won $1,800. Nice. I was the happiest mug on the planet that day. But yeah, that's the casino is always going to win. Let's get that straight for sure.
Yeah, it's 100%.
They're always going to win, but you can hit them sometimes.
Yeah, it's just a fuck. You just the more people in the casino, the more wins that happen. You know what I mean? Because it's driven by numbers. So I always look at it like that. Like they want to fucking see people winning and hearing bells going off and all that shit. So the more fucking stuff that's got action going on, you know what I mean, is the better chance. When you go to a casino and it's fucking dead as balls, you can go. That's the worst, bro. Fucking in my mind, because there's nothing driving it. You know what I mean? Especially on machine games. You know what I mean? Because those fucking build up. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
If you go into a casino and it's quiet and you don't hear a lot of slots going off, the casino's losing money because they make 80% of their revenue on slot machines.
Yeah,
So if
there you
majority
go.
of the people are playing table games, there is a chance that they're getting hit. Because your chances of winning on the table games are significantly higher
Oh
than
yeah.
winning on that slot
And
machine.
here's a tip about slot machines, and I learned this from from where I'm from. There's a place called Chuck Chansey, and like to be a Summit member, you got to have just insane amount of money put in.
What is that, a fucking
Rich guy.
reservation?
Yeah, it
It
is.
sounds
It's the
like
Yeah, I
red.
was gonna say it sounds like a reservation. Chuck Chauncey
And
fucking like,
so the guy was telling me, he was like, what you want to play is leased machines. So the casino has machines that they've had and are bought and are theirs, and all the big fancy big old lit up screens, brand new with the cool colorful games. Those are all leased machines. And so when you're playing that game, you are playing the same algorithm, the same odds, the same spins as somebody at the same time is playing in Vegas. So you're tied on leased machines. You're tied to more people, which is driving more spins, which is driving more winnings.
really?
So that's a, and I've tried it. I can't say like it works, but I've definitely won more on stuff like that. That's a tip for slot machines.
Fucking
Least
I
slot.
play pinball. As far as slot machines, I play pinball. I will occasionally play Top Dollar, and I'll play
Top
Dragon
dollar
League.
will get you
Dragon League
or to
Brief.
You know what my fucking game is? Whammy. The fucking that stupid game from fucking, you know what I'm talking about? Whammy, fucking, the
oh
noise.
yeah.
You know, and fucking.
Hey, who was that? Who was that guy that what was that game show back in the day? He learned there was only like 7 different patterns on the game show. It was Whammy.
Was it?
And
Whammy?
he won like $1 million on the game show because
that fucking game is
he
the
memorized
best,
all
bro.
7 boards.
I love
And-
that fucking game.
And he took home
That's
like $1
legit.
million in cash in like paper grocery bags, and was robbed blind because he had it sitting in his living room.
Damn.
An idiot fucking would get robbed for that
Well, that's a
kind of money.
whammy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fucking,
it was a fucking.
I would have
whammy.
come in if I was robbing him, bro. I would have fucking made myself a homemade whammy outfit and come in painted fucking red with a cape and a broom on. And I'm like, and then
Yeah,
sweep him out the
That's
back door
funny.
with his $1 million. Sweep his million right out the back door.
that'd been funny.
The guy's telling the cops about this shit. The fucking whammy came and robbed me. I swear to God.
Yeah, sure it did, sir.
They got the
Sure
money
it
back.
did.
They'd be like, yeah,
That's
okay,
funny.
asshole, where's the money?
Damn
Fucking
right.
whammy came and robbed me. They look at you, and then they see the fucking reefer growing in the other room. They're like, yeah, okay, buddy. The
Yeah.
fucking, the whammy got you, right?
That's awesome.
So how do you feel about like the explosion of these celebrity brand cannabis stuff, man? Think it's good for the industry? You think it's just fluff?
No, I think it's good because it brings attention, right? It gets more eyes on it. If I could link up with a celebrity to put more attention and more eyes on my product, I would do it.
Yeah, I see these guys like Method Man fucking with his own seeds now. It's like, bro, they stole Cap Junkie shit. You know what I mean? Like fucking, it's like that. You see stuff like that. Yeah, bro, they fucking used Cap Junkie stuff in their fucking crosses. Fucking the Method Man was fucking. They renamed his strain, like might even be more than one of his strains. They just renamed it, but it's his shit. He had posts up about it, bro. It was fucking crazy. They literally Method Man is using his fucking Mac 1. They changed to Method 1 or some shit like that, and it's the fucking Mac 1. Like, I mean, bro, it's nuts. Like, fuck, like that shit to me is crazy. It's not fucking.
I mean,
that's fucked up shit to do, like in my mind, like granted, the genetics get out there, people do, but to fucking come out with a celebrity and just take somebody's shit,
that's a little different.
Same exact ingredients and fucking go, and then call it like Method 1, and not Mac 1 or whatever the fuck it was called. It's like, man, that's a kick in the balls, bro.
I kind of like had a gripe about when Mac 1 first kind of hit the market. We were kind of one of it obviously was in Cali, so like we were kind of the first ones to start growing it, and that's when Capulator started bitching on the internet about his Mac 1 getting out, and then mentioning that he only had it off to like a couple of buddies, and now all of a sudden it's in nurseries. Like, like what do you expect if you're gonna even handing it off to just a couple? But like if I sent David Tucker my cake pebbles, and he didn't personally give it to somebody, he was robbed, and then now my cake pebbles is all over, and I'm pissed off. Like, well, then you should have just kept it in house.
Yeah,
you kind of foot the bill on that.
But I mean, not for nothing. Like, it sucks to fucking. You got to look at the other way. Obviously he trusted those motherfuckers too. You know what I mean? And
yeah, exactly. That part stuck. But
you scumbagged by your people, bro. That's fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, for real. Like, to me, I wouldn't have fucking laid down on that one. I would have fucking blown up.
It's just like what my dad taught me growing up. Like, if you leave your bike outside and it gets stolen, whose fucking fault is it?
Yeah. Listen, I'm that same fucking way. You know what I mean?
Listen,
but it just sucks to get fucking hosed like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're not giving that to anybody but your fucking peoples. You know what I mean?
So, yeah.
And that's the worst, bro. Just getting rubed on. So,
yeah.
So, what's the biggest challenge that you face today as an independent breeder competing against like all these corporate seed companies? What do you think's the biggest hurdle competing against all these big companies now that are coming?
I mean, it's always money, right? It's always money. It's always access to capital, right?
Yeah.
It all comes down to like what we just talked about, having celebrities to get more eyes on your product, right? They've got the money to slide over a fat check to Mike Tyson, or what's the cat that he's always in Missouri? He's always at the conferences that we go to. He's a wrestler, Ric Flair.
Oh,
he's
Ric
always
Flair.
there, right? Yeah. So, when they can write those fat checks, everyone's going to now have that representation of that celebrity. So it's access to capital for sure.
Takes money to make
the
money.
Same issue. Yeah, definitely. It's that's the same issue that we're seeing in the micro market. We see these licenses get obtained. And a lot of these licenses are obtained because one of the reasons why you were able to get the license is because you don't have you're $250,000 or less, meaning that if you were worth more than $250,000 liquid, you can't get this license for that stipulation. So you can be a disabled veteran, you could be worth less than $250K, you could live in an impoverished area or an area zip code that has a certain amount of unemployment. You can live in a zip code that has a certain amount of cannabis convictions. You can qualify for these licenses, but one of the qualifications is that you have to. One of the qualifications, you don't have to qualify for all of them. So some folks qualify just on the fact that they were worth less than $250,000 liquid. Now, let's say those people get licenses, and a lot of them did. Now they have to build out a cultivation facility that's going to cost them $250,000 on the low end, right? Where are they going to get that capital? Right. So there's hurdles for folks on multiple different levels.
It makes no sense to give those fucking licenses out. You know what I mean? If they can't even if you can't, and I mean, I don't know. It doesn't even make sense in my book to even give them out. Like, I mean, what they just wait around and fucking know what it is? A lot of people are getting them and then probably reselling them. You know what I mean? Just fucking profiting off of that. You know what I mean?
Yes and no, right? So, you can give someone a license, but when you say, okay, this license has to be owned, 51% has to be owned, 51% has to be owned by a qualified applicant. Okay, so then that makes it pretty difficult for that individual to say, hey, I'm going to go sell 60% of this license to this individual that has money and capital, and I'm going to give some equity of my license away so that they can then in return give me all the funds I need to build out my license. Well, if you can only give out 49% of that license to someone, tell me how many people are going to say, hey, I'll give you $1 million for no control, or I'll give you $1 million for 10%. The evaluation it's just not there. So I don't think
I know people that are doing that in Delaware.
That went into it.
I know people that are doing that. I know guys that are doing shit like that in Delaware. Fucking, they won all 3 licenses, and they're fucking, you know, and whatnot, and they're selling, you know, equity in it to build out, you know. And I mean, I see the guy, you know, some people in Delaware. I think you can actually sell the license almost fucking flat out too. You know what I mean? But the person I was talking to was telling me that, you know, he sold 49% of one, and it's I forgot how he explained it, but there was, I guess maybe one's a dispo and one's a grow or whatever. He explained it to me, but I can't remember exactly the tiers. But there's 3 licenses, you know, and he won all 3. But
Beautiful.
he only had,
Good
you know,
him.
like $300,000 in fucking in capital. He sold his house, fucking, you know, and fucking
he could build one license with that.
Yeah, he raised up 1 capital, but now he's selling pieces off of all the other ones to fund the main one. You know what I mean? Like it just seems like a you know, a recipe for failure. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. Having hands in the jar. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, I'd rather sit on the license and fucking try to build equity out of one. You know, if I have to, and support the other than letting people in on it, because now you just have all those other mouths. You know what I mean? Like, it's just
true. But at the same time, if you open one license in a community or a market where you need to have cultivation alongside retail, alongside manufacturing, I mean, I know individuals in the comprehensive market that have standalone licenses, and those licenses are worth, you know, $250,000, $500,000, 2 to 4 million on the wholesale, and upwards to 8 million on dispensary, right? But it's very difficult to get those licenses to be successful if you don't have all aspects of cultivation, manufacturing, and retail. We call it a vertical in Missouri. So if you don't have that, you're going to struggle. It's not going to be a walk in the park, you know. And then there's a lot of companies that come in to throw millions and millions and millions of dollars around, and all of a sudden they got 30 licenses. Well, it's a lot easier for them. And then when it comes time for your product to be sold to that dispensary, they say, you know, you want to buy from our wholesaler? Well, you need to buy these gummies, you need to buy these carts, and you also need to buy these pre-rolls, or we're just going to sell it to someone else because you don't have a vertical. So they push a lot of cats out that way.
That's a fucked up. That's wow. Yeah, that's great.
That is dog eat dog shit right there.
That sucks, bro, man.
And
it's just such a shit position to be put in. Dude.
Market,
you know what I mean?
to the
it's literally just a shit position. It's like they back into a fucking corner. You know what I mean? Like, literally, you're just like,
true. But your friend up there who's got the 3 licenses, it actually makes more sense for him to position himself to raise the capital to build all 3 of them out, because it's the only way that you can. It's your best chance for success.
Survival, you know. It's just it's you know, it's just a tough pill to swallow, bro. You know what I mean? You just got to eat that humble pie, you know. So
very true.
So 2 last questions, and we'll get into our little trivia fucking thing here with whoever's on still. So what's one project or collab you're most excited to drop in the next year? Is there something that you got coming out that you want to talk about? You know.
Honestly, I think the one I'm the most excited about is the launch and the creation and launch of DANK House Dispensary. That's going to be created and launched in St. Peters, Missouri.
That's awesome.
Right off of Highway 70, right at the Mid Rivers Mall and Highway 70 exit. So that's the one thing that's kind of on the radar that we're really focusing on and getting that opened. I'm the designated contact at the Department of Cannabis Regulation here in Missouri. I'm the designated contact for that license. And that's the one we're working on. And probably within the next, I would say in the next month or so, we're going to start construction on that.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
What's your ETA for opening, dude? Do you have are you pushing for a specific time, or are you just letting it roll?
So
you're done.
Our ETA is to get this thing open and commenced and approved to operate as soon as possible. As far as when we're going to open to the public, we don't want to open to the public until the market is sustainable in the sense that it has gummies, carts, edibles, hash, rosin, flour. We want the public to be able to access all of that.
Where is it
We
at
don't
now?
want to
Like,
get to
where
a point where they come in and they just have flour, right? If
is
you
there
only have
only
flour, you're going to lose.
is there only
Uh-huh.
specific stuff that's allowed right now in Missouri, or is it all
No,
allowed?
so what it is the micro markets, remember, can only do business with other micro licensees, right?
Oh, okay.
So
I
right
forgot about
now,
that.
there's one micro dispensary and there's two micro wholesales, right? And they only cultivate flower. They don't have any current manufacturing practices going on.
Oh,
So
okay.
until another wholesale, which we're working with some individuals out of District 2 to help get their cultivation going and just focus on manufacturing gummies, pre-rolls, edibles, you name it. And then once those products are readily available, then we can kind of really build this team that we've got on standby and open these doors for the public to actually get a good quality micro environment license or micro market product so that they can see that small batch, they can get that craft, that there may be situations where we just run a table of one cultivar because we know it produces some fucking killer rosin, and
Yeah,
there
why
may
not?
only be an opportunity for 300 grams of live rosin for that particular cultivar, and that is perfectly fine with us. It's a different mindset from the comprehensive market. We don't have to run a particular cultivar because we've got 30,000 square feet of canopy. See, that's what they're working with, is 30,000 square feet. We're only working with 250 plants.
Yeah. Yeah, so you got to fucking squeeze every
completely
fucking.
different
You got to
game.
squeeze that berry. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's all right
Absolutely.
though. You know what I mean? Like listen, I mean, what's the possibilities of like scaling up your license or anything like that? Is there a possibility? Is that going to be something that they're politicking or anything, or can you?
Well
Can
said,
you,
right?
if you
Politics.
have a micro license, can you buy into another license like the higher level license and stuff? No.
No, you cannot. They can't do business together. But you hit the nail on the head there. You said politicking.
Yeah.
There has been language at a lot of these community meetings and gatherings at the not only at the state capitol but wherever the regulatory body has held meetings. And there's been language that within 2 years of being active, if any extra licenses are given out to the state of Missouri, that half of them have to go to micro license holders. So there is a pathway to the comprehensive market. So to answer your question, yeah, there is. So it's
That's
really going to
cool.
be, who can get out here, who can start operating and creating product that's good enough to survive.
That's awesome. Yeah, well, that's good. You know what I mean? That's because listen, it's always nice to have that, that possibility. You know what I mean? Because if demand calls for it, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's definitely nice to be able to, invest in yourself. You know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And if you're able to scale up, then then you're doing, you got something going on because then you have that capital. So and
True.
you know how it gets, So, but let's get into some, what do you call it, man? Some trivia here. Give away some shit. Thank you for
Perfect.
for answering some questions, man. But let me grab something real quick. I got something cool fucking from Aeromix to give away tonight. So hold on one second.
Nice.
It's Africa hot out here.
Mm-hmm. What's the temps there?
It's coming down now, but it was peak today was 107.
So it was 91 here yesterday. I don't know what it was today, but our 91, if I had to guess, with the dew point, with our extreme humidity here in Missouri, I would bet money that our 91 is probably like 102 to 110. Like, so if you were here and it was 91, it would feel just like it feels there, possibly. Except we're way more humid here. It's fucking crazy.
No, where I'm at, the Central Valley, it's considered what you'd call a semi-arid desert. So, like, obviously lower humidity, but then there's times where it's like 0. Oh, I mean, before I forget, you still have that Tropicana cookies I sent you? That cut?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
hell yeah.
That's the one I was talking about earlier.
That's a good one.
bro. That
Oh,
shit
yeah.
is such a good one. But I can't. I got the things that are fucking underneath a bunch of shit. I'm not taking them out. But anyway, I got a bunch of. I don't know if you guys ever seen the Aero Mixer Clippers. They make a fucking pair of beast shears. These things will chop.
Oh, I've seen them. Yeah.
Cut fucking plants down with these things. You know, a couple of snips. Fucking beasts. They're nice, bro. They're solid, and they come with a lifetime fucking warranty. You know,
they're like PVC cutters.
Bro, they're beasts, bro. I love these things.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Heavy fucking duty, you know what I mean? But I got a bunch of those to give away for the next couple of weeks. So, so whoever wins, shipping's on you on these. But they're nice, bro. And like I said, they come with a lifetime fucking warranty, bro. So they break, you know, whatever. You get fucking replacement. No questions asked, man. You know what I mean? So
that's awesome.
they're built
That is awesome.
Thanks. They're built good though, man. These things are sharp. Like they'll take a fucking finger
That's what
right
you're doing
off.
for the giveaway?
Yeah, I'm gonna do 2 of those. You know, I'm gonna do 2 of those, and I know Jay usually does a pack. So
yeah, I'll
we'll
throw a
do
pack
those.
in also. I'll throw a pack in a collaboration we just did with Tree 14, which is one of the best, probably the best breeder here in Missouri, who has been doing it for a long time, way longer than I have. We did a collaboration with him and his Sunset Trop, which I believe was a Tropicana Cookies cross. And we called that Diamond Cabaret. So one cool thing about Jay and over there at Tree 14, a lot of his strains are all very St. Louis related. So like he's got Mississippi Nights, which is like an infamous nightclub here in Missouri where I grew up going to. He's got some fire strains, right? Well, we took his Sunset Trop and we called it Diamond Cabaret. We crossed it with our Mouth Party. Diamond Cabaret was like a famous STL strip club. So Diamond Cabaret pack of regs, I'll throw some of those up if you want to do an extra trivia question.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a good one. All right, so let's see here. Let's start off with. All right, so I'm going to make them not too hard because fucking every time I ask them too hard, fucking it takes fucking we have
fucking
to
click it.
We have to change it. So I'm going to keep it easy. So Snoop Dogg's real name is what? First person to answer will win a pair of shears, a pair of Aero Mixer shears.
Oh, let's see.
I bet you fucking people got to know this, man. Fucking, it's one of those things that people got to know. It's such an easy thing, bro. Like,
so are we waiting to see it pop up in the chat?
Yeah, we'll see it pop up in the chat. So, who's got this? First one to answer is going to get a pair of Aero Mixer shears. They're nice too.
Now, do you want the first name or the full name?
The whole name. The whole name. Gary Lopez. Calvin Brodus.
Hell yeah! Congrats, Gary.
Let me get a notepad here to write this shit down in. There's my pen. Hold on a second.
I'm sure Gary would like to have those shears on the farm.
Yeah, bro. You'll chop down your whole fucking crop with these things, bro, and they'll still be sharp as a motherfucker. They're beasts, bro. Gary's
got a huge grow going. He's got both of our stuff there, Tucker. He's got some of your stuff going on. He's got a lot of cool stuff going there. Yeah,
and they'll have a lifetime warranty too, bro. So that's the other thing good about them too, Gary. Even if you do fuck them up, cutting everything down, you know they go to hell. Fucking hit them up, they'll replace them.
It benefits you to fuck them up because then you get a brand new pair.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Once you get tired of those ones, just put it on the grinder for a second.
Oh, fucking the thing, eventually everything fails is my book. But I mean, someone puts a lifetime warranty on it, they're probably pretty fucking decent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I always say, also you could throw a fucking piece of shit in a box and mark it guaranteed, but all you got is a guaranteed piece of shit. You know what I mean? So it's this,
Tommy boy.
It's the same thing. You know what I mean? It's only, but they make quality shit, bro. I'm happy with them, man. I've been using them for fucking years now. The same pair, so you're gonna like them, dude. Gary Lopez shears. All right, so we're gonna do another pair of shears here. Okay, here we go. Name the strain crossed from Durban Poison and OG Kush that's known for its sweet aroma. Let's see who gets this one. Someone's got this one. Come on now. What's up, Bernsey? Who's got this one? Durban Poison and OG Kush. What's it known as? Brian Fout, Girl Scout cookies. Good shit.
Yeah, it was for Brian. My shit was glitching for a second.
All right. You want to do one, Jay?
Oh, do another one. I gotta think of a good question.
All right.
Caught me off guard for a second.
You want to do one, Dave?
Yeah, I'll do one.
Shoot.
Let's see
We'll
here.
do this one for what do you call it? For the pack of what the hell was it called again? Yeah, the name. You were spitting out fucking all sorts of stuff. I was getting hypnotized by it all. I forgot the names. Pebbles and what was it again?
What?
The strain Dave said before. Yeah, the one that you said. What
Diamond
was it called?
Cabaret.
Diamond Cabaret.
Diamond
the nudie
Cabaret.
bar. The nudie bar. All right, so let's do this one for the Diamond Cabaret. All right, Dave, go ahead, man. What do you got?
All right, so let's say okay. The term 420. So it symbolizes a time, right? In cannabis, a very special time. Where did that term originate from?
Ooh. Let's see here. Who's got this one? Where did the term originate from? Denver.
No, it was a particular group.
College. What was the name of the? Come on, somebody's got this. UCLA. Come on now. Out of college when students met to burn. There was a name to it.
They probably eventually went on to college, but they're getting close.
Yeah. Berkeley?
No.
Come on now. For fuck's sake, someone could have Googled this shit by now. Grateful Dead?
I mean, fucking close.
Come on now. Nobody Googled this shit yet.
They will eventually.
They're all doing it right now. High school in San Falafel.
California.
Not San Falafel. So whoever gets it the right spelling. Whoever gets the right spelling, man, fucking, I can't do it. Got to have the right answer. So who's going to get it?
So the answer I was looking for was a group of high schools in California. So I actually don't even know the city, but I do know it was a group of high school kids would always go smoke in Cali. So I think that gentleman gets it.
Robert
Carroll, San Rafael, Rob. But we'll give it to you since you said the only one who said the high school.
Yeah, in California, so that part.
Yeah, high school was the winner there. But yeah, it was just a group of high school kids, and they became known for disappearing at that particular time each day.
Fucking bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
A bunch of idiots. The teachers fucking put that pattern.
Fucking trendsetters. Legends now, right?
That shit is so fucking funny. I wonder if they're still, if they're still around. You know what I mean? Like, I'm curious if they're, how old they probably are now. So, all right. So, Rob Carroll, you can contact Dave. Dave, you're on Facebook, right?
Oh yeah, just hit me up on Facebook.
Rob, so hit up Dave
Instagram.
on Facebook. Or Instagram, one or the other.
Dungeon of Dank. Unfortunately, our main page is down right now. I'm sure you guys can relate to those struggles. But Dungeon of Dank Genetics on Instagram. All together, no spaces.
Yeah, hit him up either
Yeah,
place.
hit me up
Bobby,
on
and he'll take
Instagram.
care
That's
of
the best way.
it. All right. So all right. So Jay, you're up, man. What do you got, bro?
All right. In one of our favorite strains, the Slurdy Mac. What strain does the Mac represent? So this will be who's been following my stuff.
Somebody knows this.
And that's a good question because it's not. You could
It's
Google it,
not.
but it's
It's
not going
not
to
what
be
you
as
think it
easy.
is. It's not what you think it is.
Yeah.
You know?
The
Yeah,
Mac portion in Slurdy Mac it's what strain?
Let's see who gets this one. I know somebody fucking knows this answer because you've asked this one before.
I know it.
I know
I've sent the clone out to a lot of people.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no
I
shit.
know somebody knows this in here. Miracle Alien Cookies.
No, it's not. It's not the Mac.
Not
Yeah, it's
that.
not Mac.
It says Mac, but it's not Mac.
Cookies? Nope.
Here's a hint. Most of you are probably running it.
In the closet.
Dave, I think you have it.
Oh yeah.
Me? I was in. Come on, somebody got this one.
Oh, I gotta say David over.
Yeah, sure.
Someone's got to get this one. Come on now.
What happened to my comments?
Your comments are done?
No, it's back. No,
Guns?
nope. All right, we're gonna have to think of a different question. I'm gonna give it a few
answer
seconds
it?
here. Yeah, you can answer it, Dave.
Mac Daddy, baby.
Mac Daddy, baby. Was the Mac Daddy?
The Mac Daddy. Wonk wonk. I know one of these fucking guys answered it too, not that long ago. I'm almost 100% positive. Fucking Fout answered this question a couple weeks ago, dude.
It was it's kind of one of like we did it, but we were asking for the Slurdy portion of it, which was Slurdy 3 that Tucker's also ran.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. So
All right. Shit.
Let's see here. Let's see what I got here.
Yeah, go ahead, Red.
I'm gonna make it fucking. Okay. What's the three-letter abbreviation for cannabis concentrate extracted with butane? Whoever gets this one will win a pack of the Blizzy Beans.
Ding 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 ding.
What's the three-letter term for concentrates extracted with butane?
Eric Page.
Eric Page. BHO. There you go. Fucking Eric's
Damn,
racking up
Burns
fucking
missed it
strains
by 3 seconds.
by fucking seconds. Fucking Eric's racking up strains, man. Fucking guy, dude's gonna fucking have your entire library soon.
Hey, do you remember that? Speaking, I see Mr. Burns' name again. Mr. Burns, I always see. I think of your name at least maybe like twice a week because of that ridiculous toucan slam that you grew, and it's like all up in my photo gallery. So whenever I see that, I'm like, oh, what's that guy up to now? Because that was you remember that, Dave? That toucan slam that Mr. Burns grew.
We did that fucking that grow thing. Yeah, I think came out nice, bro. We did that. Those were good, bro. Those grow offs were fucking. We had some fucking good shit when we had those groups going.
Jackson found a good one too. He did a good one on that.
Yeah,
Burns, hit me up on Instagram with your shipping address. I'm gonna send you a pack of Diamond Cabaret also because, I mean, you guys both hit it at 927. So.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Good shit, David.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Good fucking stuff to run. I gotta fucking. I wish I fucking knew where these goddamn shiz were, bro. I want to show these fucking things. They're nice, man. They're fucking.
I've seen them when we first started, and you were kind of showing them off. I was like, those look fucking dope.
Yeah, bro. Those things will fucking chop a finger right off, bro. No problem.
Who makes them?
Aero Mixer hasn't fucking made for them, from what I know. Fucking, but I don't know, man. Fucking who they make them by, but yeah, they're fucking
Aero Garden
easy.
Shears.
They're that might be what they're called. Hold on a second. Let me look.
I just use trauma shears.
Oh,
Those things are sharp.
Aero Mixer makes them, right?
Yeah, Aero Mixer. Shears.
Yeah, these right here.
Yeah, those are them.
Is this one?
Yeah, those are them.
Man,
Yeah, they're nice, bro. These fucking things are diesel. They chop
those
like
are dope.
they'll chop up. They'll take you can put a fucking an inch fucking through them and pop it like it's nothing. You know what I mean? And I'll bust through I'll bust through shit like this with them. You know what I mean? Like a couple of chops. Just get in there and rip it, get through, and I'm just chopping through whatever. Yeah.
There's only 3.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So this is them right here. This is nice.
Oh, yeah, those are nice.
And like I said, lifetime warranty. Let's see on the back.
Can't beat that.
One purchase lasts a lifetime. On the front, lifetime warranty. So you can't beat it. And they got the nice fucking soft handles. So you guys are lucky on these ones. Like I said, you'll bust through an inch, not like without struggle. You could go through like a fucking 4-inch piece with just fucking 4 pops. You know what I mean? Like it gets in there, just cracks through.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So yeah, look at Bobby. He cuts bamboo with them like it's nothing. But that's that lifetime warranty, man. You know what I mean? For real, because shit like that adds up, man. Like it's the stupid small shit is what gets you in the pocket, bro. When you got to keep replacing dumb shit because you buy cheap. You know what I mean? If that's one thing I try to tell everybody, even with the fucking lights, like if you go cheap, you're bugging. Quality's fucking going out the window. Fucking, second thing is they're not fucking UL certified or ECL certified. So you burn your fucking building down, guess what? You're not getting fucking cocked from the insurance company. You know what I mean? Like this is all stuff that people don't take into account. But small stuff like that, knowing those kind of things where like you don't want to have to replace this or your fucking lights. If they burn your building down, you're taking a fucking loss from Amazon lights or some shit. You know what I mean? Like fucking like I see people fucking doing stuff and I'm like, holy shit, like I can't believe these guys are doing this. And then you see these horror stories, AC Infinity, the fucking things are exploding, the fucking inline fans, people's fucking houses. And I'm like, checked it out. None of that shit's fucking certified, you guys. It's just better built crap that fucking doesn't have any testing. Fucking limited. The cord, that's it. So anybody putting all that shit in their houses or in their fucking any commercial fucking grows, or you're out of your mind because fucking that fire that happens from that crap, you're taking a fucking loss across the board. And no insurance company is paying you a fucking nickel when they find out what you were using. So
and they already won't pay you for legit shit anyways.
Yeah.
So
bro. But no lie, bro. No, I swear on my fucking life, that's the truth with these. Look on them all. Look on them. Vivosun, Mars Hydro, fucking AC Infinity, fucking RDJ Bounds even. Find a fucking UL rating on the fixture and I'll give you free weed for the rest of your fucking life. I swear to God. It don't exist. So, so you're taking a huge chance. I've been preaching this every fucking episode, and I'm saying it because fucking it's crazy fucking what people are doing out there, fucking taking risks with stuff, and it's just very well advertised garbage. Fucking in reality, just some of it's better built than the crap, below it. But other than that, man, please, guys, stop using these fucking products, man. They're fucking, you know what I mean? Buy fucking stuff, pay a little bit more, buy better that's fucking certified and whatnot. If you're going for lights, go on the lighting consortium and look, because a lot of them are fucking doing shit with Spectrum where instead of using the 400 to 700, which is the fucking the pathway that the plant uses and whatnot that actually has efficacy, they go from 0 to 1,000, pump their UMOL ratings up and stuff like that. So they're using real data, but ends of the fucking thing that just don't matter and the fucking when it comes to the outcome of the grow. So the fucking numbers inflate, looks better to buy. Go on the lighting consortium and stuff like that and fucking look at what you're buying, man. Fucking do your research, because fucking I just keep seeing stuff lately and it's just blowing my fucking mind. You know what I mean? Like, I've been switching over to fucking Jet Fan and fucking, you know, I got Trollmaster coming, fucking, you know what I mean? Like stuff that's fucking, all that other shit, I'm phased all of it out, bro. Fucking, you know, I'm just, I won't do it no more, man. Fucking, it's crazy what I'm seeing. Fucking fan, bro, fucking guy on Instagram, fucking his fan exploded. And the fucking the blade went through fucking an electrical panel or some shit, fucking, and from an AC Infinity fucking inline fan, bro. The fucking blade chucked through the and he came home and the fucking shit was arced all up, bro. He could have lost his fucking house. He came home to see this fucking this had just happened. Fucking, he was that lucky, you know. Yeah, it's crazy, but again,
that sucks.
AC Infinity, man, fucking, you burn your house down with that shit, ain't paying you, you know. So, you know, just better built shit. So, you know, but I've been trying to fucking say that every episode, man, fucking, because it's, you know, I hope it catches on and people start just, it, you know, you're investing in yourself, you're investing in your fucking product, you're investing in, you know, even in your home, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's an investment.
Yeah.
You got to protect your families and stuff better and stop using this kind of products, man. Fucking buy the. You know, there's a lot of products out there that fucking destroy this stuff. It just costs a little bit more, but I think
and God forbid somebody gets hurt too.
Yeah, dude. Like, you know, like fucking.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
true.
crazy. You know, like fucking. I just don't like this. I have to say it, man, because it's becoming more and more where I'm seeing more and more shit. They're good at giving shit away enough to make fucking people believe it by fucking, you know, hype. If anybody gets a bunch of free shit, they hype it up. You know what I mean? But fucking, you know, bro, I have no problem tearing companies apart that fucking give me garbage. You know what I mean? So I don't understand why other people just don't do it. You know, it's like, be honest, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if shit sucks, bro, I have no problem saying it. Like, I hate to fucking, you know, like, once I started fucking realizing with the fucking RDJ bounds, bro, just how fucked up they were, you know, all the paint falling off, the fucking whole thing rusting out, fucking, and I'm just like, man. I started, and all the problems, fucking nothing was coming complete, fucking people having to fucking cut cords, and they're telling them to chop the fucking light up and buy a cord and do it themselves and all this shit. I was like, I'm fucking done. Like, those lights, they'll do all right, but you know, like at the end of the day, bro, I live in a building with fucking 6 families, man. Fucking, I'm not fucking having one of those fucking cheap chink lights fucking burn my whole fucking thing down. And
sorry about the kids.
Yeah, I kill a bunch of fucking families because I'm, you know, I got these shit lights up. You know what I mean? Like fucking, bro, they're all gone. Now it's fucking photo bios, fucking black dogs. You know, like fucking, I'm done with garbage, bro. You know, for real. Like, I will not promote any of those fucking companies no more. Fuck them all. They're just, oh man, seeing what's happening with people's stuff. Nope, I'm done. Fuck them all. You know, like, you know, I hate to say it, you know, and I know some people don't like me when I say it, you know, but it's like, man, you know, somebody's got to say it, right? So, but anyway, we've been on for quite a minute. So, Dave, man, thank you for chilling, bro. You know, you're an insightful dude, man. You fucking, I wish you all the luck in the world, and fucking, you know, I hope we can, you know, do some stuff together, you know, because I'm always
absolutely
down to fucking to put people
yeah.
you know, so, you know, and if anything you need, you know, like as far as like in the industry and stuff like that, like if there's something you come across, let me know. You know, I do have a lot of fucking connections and stuff like that I love to make with people that are good dudes and stuff. You're a great guy. So if anything I could do to help, let me know, you know, because I do have a lot of fucking friends in the industry, you know, with, you know, so
appreciate that, man.
You know, anytime you need
Likewise.
something, just reach out, man. I can fucking, you know, if I can make it happen for you, I will. You know, Jay knows, you know, I don't make that off lightly to anybody, you know, so definitely, man. I wish you all the luck, bro. I hope the fucking Missouri market fucking goes bananas for you, bro, you know, and I hope we can start seeing these genetics more, you know, more around, you know what I mean? Fuck, and
absolutely.
You know, I like what I've seen, man, you know.
Yeah,
so
it's always good time talking with you. Hell yeah. It always is.
You know, and with that, Jay, man, fucking as always, brother, thanks for hanging out, you know.
Oh yeah.
Next week, hold on, who do I got next week, bro? Who do we got next week? Let me see here. Hold on.
Oh yeah, I'll be out next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a guest host. I don't know who yet. Fucking, I'm debating.
It's my wife's birthday, and I don't like my throat slit, so we're gonna keep it nice and intact.
Yeah, next week
Oh,
I
yeah,
have
you got a Latina. You can't.
Yeah.
bro, you'll get bobbing in a second, dude.
Yeah.
You'll get bobbing. So next week I have Gambit Growing. I don't know if anybody knows about these guys, that they're starting to have a little uptick in the industry. They're out of Western Canada. They build tents, inline
Nice.
fans, fucking lights. I know they've got some pretty nice stuff. You know, they're actually developing a fucking a small air conditioner for fucking tents, not like what everybody else has out, these giant fucking containers. It's kind of like a camping tent fucking air conditioner or something like that, bro. So
Okay.
hopefully they're going to talk about that, and they got some cool stuff, you know, some innovative shit happening, you know. So I'm psyched to have them on. You know, Jay won't be here like we said, so I'll have a guest host. I don't know who yet, you know, but I'm going to try to make it interesting.
I'll be gambling.
Jay will be gambling,
Damn
fucking,
right.
and
Well, I'm sending you those numbers right now.
Let's do it.
the magic number. I swear to fuck, if you hit, bro, I'm gonna be. I want peace, man.
You got to share
Yeah,
it on the podcast.
Dan, after this, I'll text you, and we'll trade some shit, like
There you
always.
go.
Damn right.
All right, guys. Well, thank you both for hanging, and fucking. We will be back next week with Gambit Growing, guys. Same time. But I don't know what day it is. I think it might be next Friday. I gotta look. But anyway, good night, guys. Thank you for hanging, man. It was great.
Appreciate you guys.
Again, David, it was great having you on. You know, it's always great talking to you, man. Thanks for joining us.
All right, guys. Have a
Absolutely.
great night, everybody.
Appreciate it. Peace.